Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Movement Radio. I am Chip Hazard.
I'm Talon Williams.
And I'm Roger Sierra. Today I got you guys a very interesting Reddit story to start out the podcast. Let me pull this bad boy up really quick.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, this one I gotta turn this music off in the background. This one is from Am I the A-hole? So one of our favorite ones.
Mm-hmm.
This one's a couple years old. So the title is Am I the Asshole for Kicking My Boyfriend's Girl Best Friend Out of My Halloween Party because of her costume? All right,
Oh,
so
this
it's
is going to be
Okay.
great.
Yeah, I got a feeling it's gonna be good. Go ahead.
excuse me.
That burp out.
Says, hi everyone. I'll cut to the chase. I, a 19-year-old female, had a Halloween party over the weekend. I invited my boyfriend, 21 male, and a bunch of our friends over, including his girl best friend. I will call her Agatha. My boyfriend and I had decided to dress up as Peter Pumpkin Eater. If you haven't seen the costume, the guy wears a shirt that says Peter, and the girl dresses as a pumpkin because you know why. Um, and I was,
Innuendo. Yep.
and I was pretty excited just because I thought it was a funny and cute costume. So Agatha texted me the night before the party and asked what my costume was going to be. I explained the couple's costume my boyfriend and I would be wearing, and she replied that she would probably just come as a sexy cat. Fast forward to the night of the party, you could just say the next day, but fast forward to the night of the party, everyone is having fun and it's nice and it's a nice time. Well, it was until Agatha walked in dressed as a pumpkin. She went over and hugged my boyfriend. I swear the room went silent, and I was pissed. I asked if I could speak with her privately, and we went into my bedroom. I asked why she chose that costume since she knew the details of the joint costume between my boyfriend and I. She said she didn't see the big deal and thought it would be a better group costume. I told her I didn't think it was funny and I would prefer that she changed. I offered her a witch costume that she could borrow for the night. She turned red and started to yell that I don't get to control what she wears. I told her that she was disrespecting my relationship by insinuating that my boyfriend and her have sex. She kept screaming about how it was funny and I needed to lighten up. I ended up asking her to leave. She stormed out of the house and I returned to the party. The moon had shifted and the night felt ruined. My boyfriend agrees that she crossed the line and is planning on cutting her off completely. But a few of our friends are saying that I was being dramatic and I should have let her stay. I guess I'm wondering, am I the a-hole? Boys?
Nope, not at
Nope.
all.
Nope. Nope.
Not
Sure.
at all. Oh,
Well,
I'm sure.
yeah. Because but
There's
look at it from this perspective. She told you straight up, like, hey, me and my boyfriend are doing this costume, the couple's costume, Peter, Pumpkin Eater, that whole thing. You know this going into it, but you automatically think, okay, let me. I don't know if she did it. She probably did it to be funny, but at the same time, yeah, you're wearing a costume that's a couple's quote unquote couple's costume, but it's a couple's costume that implies a sexual innuendo. Get that word correct. And many people, especially if there's friends at the house that probably don't know about like this person or whatever, they're like, okay, wait, is he with her or is he with her? Like it creates confusion in a sense. Um, so I think it was, she brought her into the bedroom and said, hey, listen, I got a different costume to change into, blah, blah, blah. I I think it's a more of a respect thing than anything else. Like, okay, like if that's maybe you should have been a little bit more respectful and conscious of their relationship, because then it's like you kind of made yourself look a little dumb in that situation. That's just me. What about you, Chip?
I mean, I don't see where she was being the a-hole at all. Like so the girl best friend calls her and was like, "Hey, what are you guys, wearing for this costume?" Verbally tells her, "I'll just probably do like a sexy cat or whatnot." Then shows up to the party in the exact same costume as the girlfriend is wearing. The innuendo there being that he's eating her pumpkin and the girlfriend's pumpkin. I mean, if that's how you get down, my dude, that's how you get down. Just own it.
Mm-hmm.
But in the blurb that Roger read, it even said that the boyfriend felt like the girl best friend stepped over the line. So obviously he didn't think it was funny either.
Yeah.
Plus, it's your party, so you can kick anybody out that you want to kick out for
Mm-hmm.
any reason. So,
Yep. What about you, Roger? What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I already know the thing, so I read it ahead. But I mean, when I first read it, I was like, hold on. Just like you guys said, she was gonna come as one thing and shows up as this thing, knowing the pretext of the situation and saying, "Oh, it'd be a good group costume." Like this man's eating the pumpkin patch, huh?
Mm-hmm. Apparently
Um,
so.
but no, it was just weird that she would do that and then get upset that her best friend or friend's boyfriend got upset about it to begin with. Like, yeah, you completely are disrespecting her in her household. What you mean? Um, but guys, there's an update.
oh
I'm ready.
yes,
Let's go. I'm ready.
I,
Let's go.
I love updates.
So this one was posted a year later.
Okay.
Ooh.
It says, "Well, I have an update. I meant to post one a few months ago, but I really didn't have time to process events that occurred after this whole ordeal. I'm glad I waited though, because you all need to hear this one. All right, here we go. Many people pointed out that my boyfriend must be sleeping with Agatha since she went absolutely bonkers for seemingly no reason. I thought since he immediately took my side and blocked her on everything they were wrong. Well, it was me who was wrong. It turns out that Agatha and my boyfriend have been sleeping together for months, and they were really just good at hiding it until she decided that she didn't want to be his mistress anymore. I found this out when I was at his house and hang out in his room. All right, let me finish this. Just wait for this paragraph.
Finish, finish,
Okay,
finish.
okay.
All right. So he was showering after a workout, and I heard this vibrating noise. He had taken his phone, and mine was right next to me, so I couldn't figure out what it was. I opened his bedside table drawer and found a second phone. My gut told me that something wasn't right. Why would he have a second phone? It didn't take me long to guess his password, and my fears were confirmed. There was a missed call from Agatha. I looked through the messages and found out the truth. Not only had they been sleeping together, she recently found out she was pregnant.
Pregnant. Wow.
Oh,
Oh my God.
okay.
This was the reason she pulled the stunt on Halloween. She was trying to force his hand. I also saw that he was messaging other girls as well, and I was
Mm.
completely devastated. After his shower, he found me grabbing all of my belongings and putting them in my bag. He asked why I was leaving. I told him because we were finished. I threw his phone on the bed and he looked like he was going to vomit. He started pleading me to hear him out, but I didn't want to hear it. He could have all of those other girls. I didn't want him anymore. He followed me out of his house, shaking and crying. He even followed me all the way out to my car and tried to block my path. I went over the grass around him and didn't look back. He sent me a long message about how he never wanted to hurt me and that he wanted me back. And how he was using his work phone to text all of these women so I wouldn't find out. This was really helpful. I sent his boss a nice little message about how company property was being misused, and I saw on LinkedIn he no longer works for the company anymore. He is blocked he is blocked on everything. I hope him and Agatha have a magical life with their baby. Oh, and I heard through the grapevine that he got one of his other women pregnant too.
Oh my God.
As for me, I am currently in therapy, working on my trust issues and learning how to love myself again after this situation. I've been putting myself out there and have cut contact with him or with anyone that knew what was happening behind my back. And post.
Wow.
So
All
yeah,
right,
Go ahead,
guys.
Chip.
So
Go ahead, Chip.
still, so I still say she's not the asshole.
No.
On the contrary, um, that dude is a complete douchebag. Um, so he was sleeping with the quote unquote girl best friend. Um, and this was her way of like forcing his hand, like, you have to choose me. Yeah, like,
It kind of makes sense why she dressed as she dressed that way. That makes sense. Yeah.
if you had a pumpkin patch,
There you go.
wow.
I call it a
Yeah.
roster. He calls it a pumpkin patch. You know what I'm
Hey, man.
Yep. Definitely the poster is not an a-hole.
No,
No,
absolutely not.
she is definitely not.
If anything, she
Uh,
was more. If anything, she was more like foresight on it. Like, like what? But then again, he's been creeping with her, and then another girl, and then another girl got two of them pregnant. Like, ugh, bro, you stepped into a big old pile of shit on this one, dude. Like, just be honest next time. It's like, yeah, like don't wait around and like build up these expectations and things, with the relationship that you're in, only to just, and especially don't like sneak by. Like I'm of the mindset like if you're not happy in a relationship, fucking break up, fucking, do what you got to do, and cheating is just it's almost like, well, I cheated, so now it gives her a reason to break up with me. Dude, just break up. Just if you're not happy, leave the relationship. You'll find somebody else. You'll find somebody else. But to cheat, it's like cheating's stupid. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
cheating is like the ultimate lack of respect for a person you're supposed to care about.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Um, if you're gonna cheat, just don't have a relationship. Be
Yeah.
free. I don't understand. Like, I'm gonna cheat, but I'm gonna say I care about this person. No, you don't.
No.
And like, I guess it's a control thing, and also like one of those weird, like maybe sneaking, like you get off by doing something you're not supposed to do, kind of thing.
The
Right.
forbidden, yeah, the forbidden, like not supposed to do this, but so because it's more exciting in some aspects, but it kind of goes back to what we were talking about last week with the whole red pill bullshit. Is like, oh, I'm being honest, I'm sleeping with all these different women, but it's okay for guys to cheat because we don't really cheat with our heart, we just cheat physically. It's like, dude, you still cheat regardless. You're still a piece of shit, you know.
No, it's just like it's stupid. Not only that, he was doing it on his burner phone was his company phone. I've had company property like electronics. They check that shit every week.
Yeah.
So how was he getting away with it?
Mm. I guess
Uh
delete the messages before they turn them in, I guess. I don't know. But even then, you still have a fucking
It keeps record. There's no way of deleting
phone
that stuff.
record and a text record. Yeah.
so I'll tell you a quick story about a girl that I used to work with. No names because
Agatha.
Did I used to work with her too?
no, this was
Okay, we're
before
good.
you.
Okay, cool.
Agatha. We'll just call her Agatha as well.
Yeah,
Agatha too.
yes.
Point oh.
Yeah, she's Agatha 2.0. So we used to, this was again 20 years ago, so cell phones, not everybody had one. Um, so the company had a company cell phone for the department that I was in, and we shared. It was a shared phone between one, two, three, four, five people. Um, Agatha 2.0 had a cell phone, but had left it at home that day. So she grabs the company phone and was like, "Hey, if you guys need me, you know, call the company phone, and I'll help out with whatever." So we didn't think nothing of it because she was a little ditzy and would regularly forget pertinent items, i.e., one of her shoes, underwear, um, just random stuff like that. Um,
How do you
so
forget one of your shoes though?
it,
All right, I'm.
yes,
Go
it
ahead. Go ahead.
it
Go ahead.
happened. She called in late because she could only find one shoe, or she only had on one shoe and thought the other was in her car. But
I bet.
All right, go ahead, Chip.
So
Go ahead.
so a few days go by, and uh the gentleman that was over the mailroom at the time, we'll call him Mark.
Good cover.
Uh Mark has to go on a run for the company and takes the company cell phone. Well, the company cell phone starts vibrating, and he's like, "What the hell?" Come to find out, it's a text message from Agatha 2.0's boyfriend. And he reads this text thread where they were sexting back and forth, then got into an argument, and she blatantly says, "I regret giving you sex the other night."
Give you sex. That's such a weird wording.
It
I think
that
he. I think
that
Chip's.
was
I think Chip.
no, that
That
was the
that was
verbiage.
verbatim.
That was the verbiage that was used.
What? I thought you were
Um,
cleaning it up for the
Uh,
podcast.
no,
I know people that speak like that, but it's just weird wording.
it's
Okay.
weird wording, but that was the
Okay.
verbiage that was used.
Okay.
Needless to say, Agatha 2.0 no longer works at the same company that I work at.
Oh dear
Yeah.
Lord Jesus.
Gee Willikers.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow, that's crazy.
it happens.
How do you go from
Uh,
sexting to fighting?
I, emotions, man.
I, I don't know. Mm,
Like I don't know if I could rile myself up and then be like, you know what? You know what's missing from this? Fights.
I
But I
mean, I've seen
guess
people argue. I mean, you can have a fight and then, straight to sex. I mean,
yeah, but they were sexting. It's not like they're gonna have that good groove going on or something.
that's true.
right.
It's just a grudge fuck at that point. But I,
Those are
I
the
don't know, man.
those are the best
Mm.
because you can
Hey,
say whatever you want.
yeah. Then afterwards, you're just sitting there like, we're done after this, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. Oh. Either that or you may have rekindled the flame. Who knows?
Nah, if you're at
No.
that point, then nah.
One for the road, I guess, right? All right.
All right, so yeah, that was the juicy story I had for this week. Next week's gonna be a little bit more juicier, I guess.
Oh wow.
I'll look
Yeah,
forward to it.
yeah. But no, I was gonna say what. I guess we can go on to our weeks. I didn't really do much. I was sick. Um, had that weird stomach issue bug that's going around.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I felt fatigued a lot. I still feel fatigued, even though I rested a lot. Um, the I got it. I think it was like Tuesday or something where I felt sick, and I woke up, was going to get ready for work. I was like, I just can't do it. I didn't have energy. I ended up going back to bed at like 7:30 a.m. I slept till 3:30 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
After already being asleep. Like I literally was awake for about an hour. So I just had
Hey,
absolutely no energy whatsoever.
I've been there
Body
before, dude.
body needed that rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I woke up enough to make myself some tea and go to bed.
Yeah.
Um, trying to think. Other than that, I'm in a Discord group with some people, and we did like a little social networking kind of thing. We just all get in the voice chat, just started talking, about each other's like contents and stuff like that. So I got a few people to start listening to the podcast that way.
Awesome.
Um, and then we started playing games as well. Got on Tekken. I was okay-ish. I've been rusty because I haven't played in about 3 weeks, so gotta get back on my Tekken game. But no, other than that, I watched some anime, caught up on everything. I think at this point, My Hero came out, so watched that. Um,
Excuse
Let me think. Am I caught up on everything? Go Loser Rangers, Windbreakers, Delicious in Dungeon, My Hero Academia, Oblivion Battery. Am I missing anything else? I think it was all of them. So I think when I did all my stuff, that was my list. That was my list for so far. Um, But yeah, that's my week. Not really much going on because like I felt sick and fatigued for most of the week.
Yeah.
All right. Talon?
This week was okay, pretty good. Dad came down Monday, Monday and Tuesday of last week, and I was I got to spend some time with him because he's almost like a traveling soul in a sense because he stays predominantly with my sister, but then some days, especially because he can't stay the weekends because I have to work on the weekends, he stays only 2 days in a row that I'm off, which is Monday and Tuesday. So he came, he stayed with me. We watched a couple of movies. We watched X-Men 97 with each other, played some chess. Um, Dad loves chess, so we sit there. We actually have a video game called Chess Ultra. It's like $10 on the Xbox store. But it's really cool. I mean, if you love chess, which a lot of people is like it's intellectual game. I'm dumb as a box of rocks, and I can play chess. I don't mean that literally. I'm just saying. So I spent some time with him. Um, Wednesday worked. Thursday took Malachi to practice. Um, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they kind of all blurred in together, for the most part. And look, what you were talking about, you said that you was I started feeling sick also about, um, I would say probably Sunday morning is when I really felt sick, but it wasn't like I was like throwing up or anything. I was like, I probably ate something. I probably whatever. I get to work Sunday night or last night rather, as of this recording, it was last night, and I literally felt like I was going to pass out. And next thing I know, I go to the restroom and I'm in there for damn near 45 minutes because I cannot stop using the bathroom. It was bad. To the point to where they were like, "Hey man, you just want to go home?" And I'm just like, "No, give me a second." I chugged like 2 bottles of water that they had and that they let me have, and then I got through the rest of the night. But I didn't get home. Like that's the thing. I really got to find something Monday through Friday because I didn't get home until Saturday. I got to work about 5:36. I didn't leave until almost 3 o'clock in the morning. Got home, didn't get home until about 3:30 in the morning. And for whatever reason, I just could not fall asleep to save my life. And I didn't end up falling asleep until 5:30. Like it was like I hate the sleep schedule. I hate trying to, you know, pick my spots where I sleep because I also have other shit that I have to do also. Um Saturday I watched Backlash from France, which was convenient because it came on at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I didn't have to be at work till like 5:30, so I could watch this whole event, and it was a good event. The crowd was absolutely insane. Um, that I didn't really get a chance to catch up a whole lot. Like I caught like maybe like 3 episodes of Delicious in Dungeon. So I'm not caught up completely on it. I haven't seen the last couple of episodes. Um, I caught the second episode of Windbreaker, but I'm still 2 episodes behind on that. Excuse me. And
3 episodes beyond.
huh?
3 episodes.
3 episodes, yeah, because
They're on
the,
episode
the,
five.
the new one, episode 5 dropped, yeah. And I'm not even going to start My Hero season 7 because I'm not even finished with like I think I don't even think I'm on season 3 yet of My Hero, so I'm not even going to fake the funk and say that I'm caught up because I'm not. Um, next week though with Demon Slayer because I am caught up all on Demon Slayer, so that's one. My son's excited about that. My daughter's excited about it too. Um,
First
you know, so,
episode's an
so,
hour
so
long.
yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to it. Um, which I mean, the people have already watched the Enter the Hashira training arc. They kind of have already seen that first episode if you've seen the movie, but I haven't. So I'm gonna try to get that. I think was it May 12th, if I'm not mistaken, or was it
Yeah,
May
Saturday.
14th?
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay, so it's a Saturday. Okay. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much been my week. Up today, I felt a little better this morning. I went out there and tackled a tree that was in my backyard. It's so weird because it's right on the fence line, and couple about sometime last year or so, we had that real big bad storm come in, and it uprooted one of the trees that was like on the fence line of my house and the house that lives behind us, and it curved like all the way into my yard. And today I literally spent damn near 2 hours just strategically like chopping down uh this tree. Like I don't have an axe or anything. Like I got like these I can't even know what to describe them. They're like limb cutters basically. That and then all I had was a handsaw. One of the ones that looked like a knife, and it's got like the saw blades on it, and I was able to get one piece off of that. But I still got a whole big ass tree in the back that I still got to do something with and get done because I want to get it done and taken away and get that shit taken care of. But other than that, that's pretty much been my week. Got to spend time with my dad, caught up on wrestling, watched what I could of anime, tried not to get sick, and I was a freaking lumberjack for like 3 hours. So that was it for me. What about you, Chip? What'd you get into this past week?
So I thankfully did not get sick this weekend or this week.
Yes.
Unfortunately my wife did.
Mm.
Um and she's still dealing with some adverse effects. So she went to the doctor uh 2 Fridays ago now. Um and uh they gave her some antibiotics that she had an adverse reaction to. Started messing with her breathing, started her making her heart race, like real bad palpitations, very fatigued. Um, so we back and forth to the doctor and everything. Come to find out, it caused her to have bronchitis.
Mm.
Um, so she's now having to use, she had to get a steroid shot. She's having to use an inhaler 3 times a day, and they gave her probably the cutest medicine I have ever seen in my life. It's these little bitty pills, I mean, almost like the tip of my ink pen here, if you can see that.
Oh wow.
Um, but they look like a pearl. Uh,
Huh.
so
Interesting.
but she's on the mend, starting to be able to breathe better now. She said that she feels like the pills are breaking up the bronchitis and everything. So I spent most of my time just like taking care of her. Um, didn't really get to watch much anime, be obviously because of taking care of her. I did get to watch Backlash, thought it was really good. And I did get to watch the Formula One event from this weekend. Shout out to Lando Norris, got his first win ever in Formula One, 110 races before he got his first win. Probably the most deserving dude on the grid to get a win.
What team
And
does he race for?
McLaren.
he's McLaren.
Okay,
He's the first seat for McLaren. He's their
Yeah,
future.
gotcha.
yeah. McLaren has a really, really good team overall.
Yeah, because
Oscar,
Oscar's doing great right now.
yeah, he led a good bit of the race until he had somebody wrecked into him. Um, so
Because anytime
uh,
we talk about Formula One, it's normally people they either talk about Lewis Hamilton or they talk about Max Verstappen. Is
We
it
still
because
do.
right, but I'm asking because again I'm the novice here. I don't watch as much Formula One as you guys do. Um, but like I mean yeah, there are I mean because you said because there's normally you hear about
there's
the
there's
Red Bull team and
there's
the
10,
Some
yeah,
teams.
there's 10
yeah.
teams and 20 drivers. So each team has two drivers. You have first seat and second seat.
Mhm.
Mm,
Um,
And the second seat's normally like the defensive kind of seat.
mm-mm.
No,
mm-mm,
No, still the
okay,
second
no,
driver. Either one can get it.
yeah.
okay. Because
They
I've heard
gives two chances to actually just win.
okay, but if you're the one seed, your team's probably wanting you to be the one that wins the race more often than not.
I
Am I
mean, they don't really care who wins, as long as the team itself scores points.
Yeah.
The object, like, so there's two different championships when it comes to Formula One. You have the drivers' championship, and then you have the constructors' championship.
right?
Uh, the constructors' championship is the team one.
Gotcha.
So the team doesn't really care like who actually wins a race. What they care is that both of their members place high enough to score points.
Mm.
Uh,
Gotcha.
yeah, and in Formula One, you only score points first through 10th.
Now, if you're ahead of your teammate and you have a slower pace, they'll probably tell you to move over so he
Hmm.
can get ahead and try to score as many points as possible.
Okay.
Um, so it really depends on the situation. Um, Also, that if your first seed or second seed has more points for the season overall, and the other one is ahead, they may tell you to slow down and let them pass, and you defend so you can get the driver the most points, so they can get the drivers championship, but also build the constructor by having you guys back to back.
Okay.
So it just
Yeah.
depends on it. There's a lot of strategy when it comes to teammates and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've been wanting to ask you guys a couple of questions about Formula One. I figured this would be the best time to do it. Um, because obviously they brought the list. It's been a while ago when they announced like when the races are going to be and the different cities that they're going to be in and stuff.
Hmm.
I'll ask you guys, what is y'all's favorite
Favorite what?
race? Favorite race in the
Oh,
in F1?
what's the
And it
Dutch
could be
one
for
called?
whatever
Van
reason. It could
Van
be
Van
whatever reason
Zoot,
you want.
Uh, Xandafor. Is that what you?
Xandafor, Spa, Imola, uh, Silverstone, and probably Texas are probably my favorite ones.
Okay.
They're,
Any
they have they have big turns, so you can overtake without causing accidents. They have beautiful straightaways, great DRS zones, and the way, especially Vanderzoo, because there's this one turn right before you get to the finish. It's the last turn. It starts at an uphill, but it goes down, so you get so much speed on that bad boy.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, now for the novices who are listening to this, what is a DSR zone?
That's the drag reduction zone. So on Formula One, they have the wing, and it looks like this. It's pretty much just straight up and down like this. When you get in the DRS zone, you have to be within a second of the person in front of you, and when you do that, you get to open up its wings, and you get more aerodynamicy. But you can only
Okay.
do it within a second of the person in front of you. So you can't use it the whole time, and there's specific zones. It's usually like what, a couple 100 meters maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not very far that you can use it, but it gives you the extra speed boost, so you can go from like 180, 190 kilometers to 210, 220, and hopefully you get enough drag resistance and also drag pull from the car in front of you to overtake them.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. With the rear wing open, it adds an extra uh 15 to 20 kilometers an
Mhm.
hour.
Gotcha. What about
Uh,
you, Chip? What's some of your favorite races to
I
watch?
I love COTA, Circuit of the US in Austin. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah, it's
Um,
such a beautiful. It has a lot of good hills, a lot of good turns.
yeah. Um, I love Imola, Zandafor. The Red Bull Ring is a really good one. Silverstone, I mean, that's a legendary
It's
track
a
in
legendary
itself.
track. Yeah.
And then
And where's
Spa.
that one at?
It's technically in. I want to say it's England, but I can't remember exactly where it is in England.
Yeah,
Okay.
Crap.
I can't remember the
Mm,
city, but it's in England. Um, my least favorite are the
That
street races. Well,
yeah.
like
Monaco.
yeah,
Monaco.
Monaco, Qatar. I mean, Qatar is a legit track this year. It will no next year. So they're using a makeshift track in Qatar. Um, Abu Dhabi, it looks pretty, but it's terrible.
Yeah, it sucks.
Um,
So
Miami, I
Silverstone is Talchester.
okay, Talchester. Yeah. Miami, there's very few like if you were to actually watch and learn and like get invested in Formula One, you would understand. Like you want like sweeping corners, fast straights, because you want cars like the most exciting races are when there's tons of overtakes and battles for position or whatnot. Um, so
You
there's
pretty much want wider areas for there to be more than one car. And with street circuits, you don't. There's barely
mm,
enough room
Gotcha.
for one car. What
Gotcha.
fuck, what's the one we always talk about? Not Monaco. What's the other one that has the pretty horrible streets?
Oh,
Singapore?
no,
Yes,
Singapore's
I hate Singapore. I hate
Singapore's
Singapore.
not
It has
terrible.
that horrible hairpin after that straightaway.
It does have that
It
horrible
is
hairpin.
so bad.
Well, what's crazy is because I'm looking at it right now. I don't know if you'll be able to put a picture of the track on so that we can explain to people who are looking at it. But I'm looking at turns 7, 8, and 9. It just looks like, because at first, from looking at it from a distance, if you wasn't, looking at it, it almost looks like it crosses, but it doesn't. It's like the corners connect between 8 and 14. It looks like they just connect. And that's a weird ass looking. I don't know. It just looked like a weird turn. Like, I
It
mean,
is
I've
a weird
seen
turn.
sharper. Yeah.
And
And I'm,
they sort of do, well, they don't cross because so the weird thing is that they're two
it's like
sides of the
they're like
street.
this almost.
They're
Yeah.
two sides of the street, and there's literally just a median that blocks them. It's literally going over a median because you have to go around, and you're still on the other side. Because when you're driving, you can literally see over the blockade and see the other side.
Yeah.
It's literally just a median separation.
Right.
So it's literally like going down the interstate and just seeing the other side.
Yeah. I'm looking at
Yeah.
there's another one I'm looking at from Qatar, the Baku City
Uh,
circuit.
uh, uh,
It looks like, it looked
like trash cans.
yeah, I would say it looks like a cleaver and a spatula came together with the same handle. That's what it looks like. Because
It
it
looks
got,
like trash.
I know it's a weird analogy, but I'm just telling you what I'm looking at.
Yeah, it looks like trash.
Because it looks like it's like 90-degree turn, 90-degree turn, 90-degree turn, and then a right 90-degree turn, a simple, like, how is anybody, like, I guess going from 16 back to 1, I guess you can get some, or from 16 to 20 you can get some speed, but that is an ugly looking track. I mean, I'm not like I said before, I mean, I'm not a huge Formula One fan, but I played racing video games before, and I can look at that and be like, that would probably be hard to manage. Obviously, for me, controlling a video game character, that's one thing, but actually getting in a fucking car and driving this shit, ain't no way. You got to be on some upper echelon level of performance as a driver to be able to pull some
They
of
are
these turns
so
and
so
shit.
They're the
the
best drivers
20
in the world.
Formula One drivers are literally the fastest drivers in the world.
Like there's no exception. Like you all NASCAR people can say what you want, but when you're hitting that 200 plus kilometers, let me know.
Yeah. I'm looking at, like, all these tracks look really, really cool. Like, I could honestly, like, I mean, they're real world tracks, so obviously, I mean, they would be really cool. The one that I found very interesting, obviously, we said there's a whole bunch here that are interesting. You said the one from Qatar looks like a trash can.
Yep.
The
All
one
the Middle
from,
Eastern ones trash.
yeah, the Heineken Dutch Grand Prix in the
Yeah,
Netherlands.
Zanzoot. That's my favorite one.
That's what it's called,
Yeah.
Zanzoot. Okay,
Van Zoot or Zanzoot like
Van
that.
Zan
I don't speak Dutch, so
Zandafor.
Zandvoort. There we go.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
This,
Zanvoot.
if you'd have just showed me just the diagram of the track, I would look at it and be like, that would be a pretty cool track to,
Oh, it's an amazing track.
because you got like this long straightaway from 1 to 14. Well, I'm sorry, no, you'd be going the opposite direction. So from
14 to 1.
from 14 to 1.
Yeah, that's the one
And
I'll tell you that has that huge, it's a big turn, but it
that's
goes
the one that's
downhill.
got the big hill.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they got one from 10 to 11. I don't know, that little
That's
little
that
quick
one.
right
That one's a
hand
little
turn
shorter.
into a
Yeah.
hairpin.
I would say it's a little shorter, but it's so much room that you could have 3 cars battling out right there in that one spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it looks like a pretty cool, dude. I'm gonna have to start watching races.
Just watch Drive to Survive on Netflix.
I don't have Netflix right now.
They're also starting a new series in 2025, so next year. It's the Formula One Academy is getting their own docu-series on Netflix. And for those that don't know, Formula One Academy is the all women's Formula One what would you call it?
League.
League? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Federation. Sorry, Federation.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Because Formula One is I forget the weird freaking name, the Italian name they have, but it's a federation.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about it on a previous episode of I can't remember. I'd have to go back through, and it was when we did our top. It was when we did our top 20 sports scandals episode that there was a scandal involving a F1 race. I just cannot remember for the life of me. I had to go back and re-listen to the episode, but there was a like somebody had wrecked on purpose or something like that so that the other
Mhm.
guy can go, and I just can't remember who it was off the top of my head.
Well, last
Yeah.
season, Charles Leclerc technically crashed his car and ended up getting the pole position over
How
Yep.
do you do
Verstappen.
that?
His he was already so qualifiers is the fastest lap gets the first position.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Charles Leclerc already had qualified for first, so Verstappen goes out to try to be at first again because you get three or four attempts, right? I can't remember what it is.
So the way it works is
It's a
you
time
have,
limit, right?
yeah, you have Q1 or Q1, Q2, and Q3. So
Mm.
Q1 is 15 minutes, I believe.
Something like that. Yeah, I can't remember the
Uh,
timing.
so it's like 15 minutes, and the top 15. So there's 20 drivers on the track. The 15 fastest move to Q2. The five slowest are knocked out. So then in Q2, that time drops to 10 minutes. And then the top 10 move to Q3, the bottom five drop out. And then it's a 10-minute shootout to see who goes the actual fastest. Um,
Oh wow. So okay, so if you are one of the slowest drivers in the first qualifying or
You're out.
at the first qualifying, you don't even have a chance again to do it because you've already proven that
yeah,
you can't go fast.
you don't get to try to qualify again. Now, sometimes they get,
And by what we mean by qualifying is to get the highest position, not like you
Yeah.
have to qualify for the race.
yeah, because all 20 drivers, unless unless they have exceeded their penalty points on their super license, or their car has been wrecked and is unfixable, all 20 drivers.
Or they made an illegal modification.
Yes, I forgot about that one.
Does that
um
happen more often than not?
Well, an
uh
illegal modification, if you have a certain amount of like engines, batteries, and like main feature parts that you're allowed to change throughout the season. I think it's three engines, four batteries, like two chassis, something like that. It's something weird like that. So if you exceed them, it's an illegal modification.
Gotcha. Okay.
Or if you
yeah,
don't actually say what you're like, if you got a brand new engine like a complete different from what you had to your last car's modification, that's a legal modification because you have a brand new engine that hasn't been disclosed or tested legally and
Okay.
approved.
And by legally and approved, which means that I don't know what you guys, a
The committee has to
commissioner, yeah.
yeah.
So
yeah,
they have to approve of all changes
Yeah, it has to
beforehand.
meet
right.
the qualifications of what is legal, what the technical aspects are or specifications are for your car to have that year. You can't do anything different, so you can't add an extra piston or thrusters, anything like that differently at all.
Right.
So of course you can't
Okay.
do stuff like that.
Okay. Well, because then that leads me to ask this question: if all of the F1 cars have to meet a certain specification,
Mhm.
how is it that certain cars are faster in a sense, or
Money.
is it, or does it? But this is why I'm asking for clarification because you said money.
Mhm.
My thing is that if you have to, how can I word this? Because I'm trying to ask it in a certain way. If all the cars have to meet uh a certain standard or
Mhm.
whatever, adding stuff to the car, isn't that what you just said? Is it not an illegal modification? Like, I'm trying to understand like how certain cars can be faster than other cars if all cars are technically a standard F1. I'm trying to understand that.
It's all in how you set up the car.
Mhm.
So you have a rear wing, you have a front wing. It's
Side
also,
wings.
yeah, side wings, side pods. So each team designs their own car. There are specific parts that the teams have to use, but the teams can also, so there's the specific parts that teams have to use that are provided by the FIA.
Mhm.
Okay. Like the engine, the tires, the
No,
fuel,
not
the
the
chassis.
engine.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
not the engine, because there are multiple engine
Engine makers.
providers like Mercedes,
Honda,
Ferrari, Honda, um,
Renault
who
still
else?
technically makes them.
Yeah, Renault. They do the. I'm pretty sure they do Kick Sauber, or maybe it's Haas. Um,
Amadeus Haas.
yeah. But like in 2026, which was when the new regulations come in, they're bringing in new engine providers. So you'll have Mercedes, Ferrari, Renault, Honda. They're adding Audi and
Audi, yeah.
Ford, and possibly GM. So
Okay.
there'll be 7 engine manufacturers. Now, the thing is like Mercedes, obviously they want to use a Mercedes engine, but you have teams like Haas or Kick Sauber, or Alpine, that they're not engine manufacturers. Red Bull is not an engine manufacturer, so they have to buy their engine from somebody else.
Hmm.
Currently, Red Bull runs a Honda powered um, unit.
But they're
Uh,
switching that, aren't they?
there's in 2026,
Yeah.
they're switching to Ford. They're going to use a Ford powertrain,
You gotta get that
and
Hemi, bruh.
yeah, I got to
Mm-hmm.
get the Hemi. Um, and Honda is they're staying on the grid. I want to say they're maybe McLaren.
I think
Uh,
McLaren. No, because McLaren's doing Audi's doing McLaren. Remember, they did get that
no.
partnership.
Audi's doing Kick Sauber.
No, they're doing McLaren. Because remember, we
No,
thought they were going to buy McLaren out.
yeah, but so that all changed. They bought out the what is currently the Kick Sauber team, um, which last year was Alfa Romeo. So Audi is going to be their engine provider. And they might provide for another team as well. Um, but it's going to be like the Kick Sauber team, what they're called this year. They'll in 2026 they're getting renamed again to Audi F1 something.
Okay.
Um, so yeah,
Okay. So
Um,
basically, it's just like the way they customize and modify the car is dependent to where it's like to where it's more aerodynamic, or
mhm.
maybe a certain engine may have more horsepower than a. Let's just throw
but
this out there.
they can't change an engine from race to race. Like once you are locked into a contract with your engine provider, you use that same engine for the entire season
Okay,
Mhm.
or
but you only
however
have
long that
three.
contract is.
You can only change the engine, even though it's the same company. You can only change the engine a certain number of times throughout the season.
Yep,
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
they increased it this year to
to 4.
4. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So like change the engine like once every what,
5
four or five
races,
races,
5,
something
6
like that?
races.
Uh
It depends on how good your unit is.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean there was who was it? Uh the American driver that drives for Logan Sargent. He changed his engine on the second race.
Oh
Which is
wow.
stupid.
Did he change it on the second? Well, where did he place? Because that might be a reason why he changed it.
I mean, he
Um,
hasn't placed high at all season.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
stupid.
yeah, but that team, that team's not doing too well right now. Anyway,
Solo tier team. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah. So okay, so here's another question. And again, this episode just might be Talon picking y'all's brain. Um, which I hope that's okay. Um, have has there ever been an instance where because you guys talked about qualifying just a second ago and how like you if you don't qualify for the first day you're knocked out. If you guys know this, I'd like to know. Um, what's the lowest someone has started in a race and ended
Lewis
up
Hamilton
winning
finished
it
last and won.
in qualifying?
No, he
yeah.
got penalized to where he had to start at the end of the track So he started in 20th and literally won the race.
Okay.
What was that?
That was
7 or
3 years ago.
no,
Uh,
no. He
yeah, it was,
was it 3 years ago?
yeah, it was right before the pandemic or right at the pandemic. Um,
Okay, okay, yeah. So it was the last year before Max won his first championship, is that correct? It would have been
it
Lewis's
was about,
last
yeah,
championship.
it was been his last championship.
Okay. And Talon, you mentioned earlier that you mostly only hear about Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. That's because Lewis Hamilton is a seven-time Formula One world champion, tied with arguably the greatest driver of all time in Michael Schumacher.
Okay.
Um, and Max Verstappen because he's the guy who unseated Lewis Hamilton for the championship and has won the last three straight and
Gotcha.
looks, I mean, it's still a long season, but looks to be about to win his fourth straight world championship this year.
Yeah, I was looking at the where is it at? I literally just had it. Let me go back to schedule real quick. It said, I think this is it. It's like, okay, so Verstappen won in Bahrain. It says he won in Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
He won in Japan. He won in China.
Uh, no, I don't. He did not win in China. No,
According to
yeah,
the,
yeah. He
Yeah, he
didn't
did.
win
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it was Australia that he didn't win.
yeah, he
Um,
Sally or no, what's how do you pronounce this guy's name? Sorry.
bro.
It said Sali. I was like, what the hell is
No,
that?
it's SAI for signs.
Yeah,
Signs,
science. Yeah.
signs.
Carlos Signs. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
and he drives for
Ferrari this year.
Ferrari. Okay,
Yeah.
and then
The
I'm
trade up.
assuming the one in Miami, the one that literally just happened, is that I'm assuming that's McLaren.
Yeah, McLaren. It was Lando Norris who won.
Lando Norris. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
2021 Sao Paulo was when Lewis Hamilton started at the end of the grid and won.
Okay, the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Yeah, the Brazilian. Yep.
Yeah.
Brazilian Grand Prix. That's the
Sao Paulo.
okay. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
But he literally qualified as the fastest racer, so he would have got pole position.
Hmm.
But he had a penalty that forced him to be at the end of the grid.
What
And
was it? He had a there was a
it
penalty
was a
plus he changed his power unit, wasn't it?
um
Because I think he had he had changed his power unit going into the race and then got a penalty during qualifying, which knocked him that far down. So he actually qualified first, but started last and then ended up winning the race.
yeah,
Interesting.
he switched it up because remember that's the one where the F1 air freight plane arrived Thursday night, so it forced everyone to work Thursday into Friday morning for qualifiers.
Yes.
So um Mercedes just go ahead and switch to power. It was the power unit.
I
Um,
think it was.
Let me double check. I'm going to read the story real quick.
Okay.
Was this at the height of COVID or like right at the beginning of it when that happened?
This is
This would have been
2021. This was in the middle of
yeah.
it.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
technically, yeah,
It would have
technically, yeah.
been later. It would have been later in the season because they usually run Brazil right before Abu Dhabi.
Hmm.
And Abu Dhabi is the season like
Oh, it was his rear wing.
finale.
There was an infringement on the rear wing.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yep.
Okay. And the next F1 race is going to be in Italy,
Yeah.
correct?
Imola. Is it Imola?
It says
Is it
Emilia Romagna.
Yeah,
yeah,
Imola.
Imola.
Okay. Imola, yeah. I'm gonna look at this track real quick, see what it look. Oh, that ain't a bad looking
I
track.
love Imola. It's big. It's just a
Yeah.
big old race.
Yeah. It look oh man, from 18 to 2 just looks like it'd be fun as hell to just to drive on. The la Wait, whoa. Hold on. Hold on.
It's also an up
Okay.
and downhill one.
Well, hang on a minute, because I'm looking at this. Because I'm looking at all this, the 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 lap record, which I'm gonna assume is just one time around the track, just one lap, 1 minute 15 seconds by Lewis Hamilton in 2020.
Yeah.
Uh First Grand Prix was in 1980. 63 laps around. Race distance is 309.04 kilometers. Circuit length. Okay, what's the difference? Okay, I'm confused. What's the difference between circuit length and race distance? Because wouldn't circuit length kind of be the same thing?
No, the race distance is like typically how many laps you're gonna do.
Mhm.
Okay.
Which
Eh,
Imola's 74.
is it 74 or 63?
You talking about
It's
the one
one
we're
of
talking.
the
Talking about
How many?
the one we're
How many
talking about
laps?
right
Yeah.
now.
How many laps is it?
yeah.
63 laps.
63.
Okay.
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 Uh
So what's the difference between the circuit length and the race distance then? What's circuit length?
Circuit
so
length is just one lap around.
circuit length is one lap around. So it should be like
Some
4.9 kilometers.
kilometers or
Okay.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
4.909 kilometers. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'm good. All right. Okay. So circuit length is how
Just
long
how
it is to
long the
do
track
one
is.
lap. And then race
Yeah.
distance is how many laps you
What
have,
you do for the
the total
race.
amalgamation. Okay. Okay. Again, I'm still learning.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, so 4.1 or 4.9 kilometers is equal to 3.05 miles.
Mhm.
And they're doing that in a minute 15.
Minute.
If that long.
If
Yeah.
that long. Well, I mean, Lewis Hamilton did it in 1:15, and that's the lap record
That's
for this
record, yeah.
particular. Yeah, for this particular one.
Yeah.
Was
Um,
it not? I remember, isn't that one the first one Pierre Gasly won? And I thought he got a faster record than that.
Oh,
maybe a faster total
Oh,
record, but this just
it
his
was
lap
rained out
record.
and he was in first. That's what it was. He got rained
that's what
out.
it was. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Because that's the day that I got random piss poor rain everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, so I see what you're looking at. You're on formula1.com, correct, Talon?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so the circuit length 4.9 kilometers, race distance 309.049 kilometers. Um which 309, that's 192 miles.
Okay. Man, some of these ticket prices that I'm looking at for the. Whew,
Oh, the ticket prices to a Formula One event are insane.
yeah.
But you think you're like you're going for it's typically Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, so it's a 4-day event. Um,
So you're pretty
and
much
you're
going for all the qualifying, all the after hour activities, all the race
The meet and
itself.
greets and
well,
everything.
yeah, and at a lot of these races, you're getting an F1 qualifying and race, an F2 qualifying and race, an F3 qualifying and race.
Gotcha.
Uh, and so what F2 and F3 are, those are the feeder systems for F1. You could basically look at it as like high school, college, and then the pros.
Gotcha. Man, so the grandstand at the starting grid, those tickets are 900 euro.
Yeah,
The
Which
Padlock
is a
Club,
lot.
which I get the Padlock Club, I guess, which is I guess like
You can be closer to the
the closer to
actual
the actual
garages.
garages and stuff like that. I guess near the pits and things of that nature. 55,664 euro. Yeah, that's a lot
yeah.
of money to spend.
So
And
so
people pay that money.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm
because
sure they do. Yeah.
they're readily sold out every weekend.
Yeah.
But just for transparency, 900 euro equals $969.33 US dollars.
Yeah, because
Gotcha.
you're stronger than a dollar.
Hmm.
Yeah. No.
Yep.
I'm just happy we're able to talk about this because, like I said, I mean, I'm all about educating myself on certain things. And obviously, you don't learn unless you ask questions. So, that's what I try to do here.
Yeah. Well, you're talking to two F1 nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, this weekend I watched the last season, or the current season of Drive to Survive with Parker because I was getting him into F1,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was funny because they were doing the part of Haas and how they're always disjointed and stuff like that. Parker's like, I don't care. Just show me the teams that can actually win a race. I mean,
there's like three of them right now.
um, I mean, Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, and
Nah.
McLaren.
Well, Mercedes would technically be the fourth, maybe fifth team right now.
Yeah.
In hierarchy, it would go just from watching this season. Red Bull is one, Ferrari is two, McLaren is three, but it's a close. Like Ferrari and McLaren are super
Mhm.
close. Then Aston Martin, but only one of the Aston Martins. It's the Fernando Alonso driven car. He's consistently in like the top seven.
I
Uh,
mean, hey, he's able to do it still at his age.
yeah. And then Mercedes, they're having a lot of troubles with the Merc this year.
Why is it that there is such a, how can I say this? A disparage, like maybe that's the wrong word. Why is there a
Uh,
big disparity between like
Tier ones and tier twos.
not even necessarily like F1 and F2. I'm talking about like
No, like in Formula One, there's tier ones, tier twos.
no,
yeah,
I'm not talking about the individual drivers within the teams. I'm talking about like
No,
because
that's what
the
I'm talking about.
teams.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
okay,
Tier
okay,
ones and tier twos. And
okay,
tier threes is the very bottom of the pack because
right.
yeah.
it's 1 through 4 or 5 essentially. And you have the mid pack, which is 6 through 10ish, and then from there you really have the low tier teams that just battle out for not getting really points overall.
So
Uh,
is
Yeah.
there is there any threat of like relegation? If anything, it's like, man, you guys have
no,
been the
but
bottom of the barrel for
you
so
lose
long,
financing pretty much.
but
Yeah.
wouldn't losing financing equate to you people not wanting to see you race or people not wanting to support your team or people saying like, yo, man, we need to change the driver, we need to change the owner, we need to change
Uh,
something?
They
and
change
that
drivers
happens.
consistently.
Yeah, that happens a
Okay.
lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very, very few owners.
Haas is like the best example of that.
Yeah. Uh,
Well,
I
explain.
mean,
How is he the best example of it?
They consistently change drivers over and over again and
yeah,
get
I
these new
think
financiers, and it just doesn't work out because they just don't have enough money to buy the engineers and tactical team overall to really have them have
right.
a solid car day in and day
So
out.
Okay.
currently Haas is the only American owned car on the Formula One grid.
Even though we know
Um
they're not American at all.
none of the yeah, there's one American owned team in Haas, and a gentleman by the name of Gene Haas owns that team. And
Doesn't he
there's
also own like NASCARs too?
Hmm.
he does own a NASCAR team, yes.
Yeah.
And that's
Um
where most of his money's going.
yeah. Uh and then there's one American driver. It's the first American driver since Mario Andretti,
Yes,
I want to say. It's been like probably,
forever.
yeah, 15 or 20 years
Hmm.
uh at least, and that's Logan Sargent. Um so most of your teams are European owned.
I mean, the only reason why Haas is technically American owned is because they have a station in America, but they're definitely not American.
Yeah. Uh and there's right now there's a war happening between um the Andretti F1 team and Formula One, or I guess Liberty Sports,
Yeah,
because the FIA approved uh Andretti F1 to join the circuit, and Liberty slash F1 itself is like, no, we don't think we need to add a new team. Um, so it currently has stalled, um, and they're fighting back and forth. Uh, the hope amongst the Andretti team is that they will get on the grid in 2026 when the new regulations are happening. They just built a brand new um, facility. I want to say in Britain.
I believe so.
Uh, they just built a brand new facility there, and they've already started hiring um, engineers and everything to work on the car. So
Hmm.
I mean, they're planned to join, but it depends
We'll
on what
see.
Liberty
Yeah,
Media says.
we'll
So,
see.
hmm
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
yep. Any other F1 questions before we move to the next segment, Talon?
I think I'm good.
Are you
If I come
sure?
up with one, yeah, if I come up with one, I'll ask. I'll ask
Okay.
Uh,
because right now I got nothing in my head else to ask, but I'm pretty sure if I have something, it'll just pop up in the middle of the conversation. We'll talk about F1 for another 20 minutes.
we could talk about it all day, every day.
All
Hey,
day.
that's
Yes.
what the name of this episode will be: Pumpkins and F1.
I mean, we just call it pumpkin eaters.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Ooh,
Mm.
speaking of F1,
I was about to say, speaking of pumpkin
Speaking of,
eaters,
I thought that's what
no,
I thought he was
no.
going to.
This just hit my news feed. Sebastian Vettel will drive Ayrton Senna's McLaren MP48 in tribute at the Imola Romagna Grand Prix this weekend.
oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Explain to a novice why it's great. I
Because
heard
Ayrton
tribute because I'm assuming he passed away, so he's
he
doing it in honor. Okay.
he Ayrton Senna passed away 30 years ago, and
Oh,
at that point he was the best Formula One driver ever.
Yeah,
Um,
easily.
even over
It's before
Schumacher.
Schumacher.
Oh, okay,
yeah, that was well before Schumacher.
Yeah, Schumacher
Um,
was late '90s, early 2000s.
gotcha.
yeah. Uh, and so then once Schumacher came onto the scene, he was touted as the greatest to ever do it. Then Lewis Hamilton tied him and broke most of his records.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that's why,
people have a discrepancy because there's more races now, which gives Hamilton more opportunity. That also gives
yeah,
him more opportunity to lose. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you will hear when I'm talking about the difference between Hamilton and Schumacher, I always say arguably, because to me it breaks down to the eras. So it was different eras. Yes, there are more races now than there were in Schumacher's era, but that should not take away the any of the accolades that Lewis has gotten.
You think it's interesting, like, because I don't know, this might be a dumb comparison, and please don't crucify me for it, but is the Schumacher Hamilton thing, is it a debate among F1 fans, kind of similar to NBA fans with LeBron
yep,
and Jordan?
yep, literally what it is.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
Because everybody was talking about how I mean back then it was definitely more dangerous than Schumacher's era.
yeah,
Less regulations. Um, Hamilton's team, I mean, pretty much I don't know. It's weird because the engineers team is pretty much the same. Because I mean, Ferrari picked Schumacher to be the guy, and he did become the guy. And they built
mhm,
him, pretty much built the car for him to win all the time, and then gave him a partner that was, yes, they were still competing against each other, but they understood the roles of what they were going to do. Same with Hamilton. Like
yeah,
they
uh,
Mercedes picked him after McLaren he had 5 wins with McLaren, moved on to Mercedes, and they pretty much built it to be his time.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Didn't he win his first world championship with McLaren?
No,
Is that right?
no, because he only has 7 championships and Mercedes has 7 titles.
Okay.
He won 5 GPs with McLaren at a time when McLaren was struggling and they needed pretty much him to be there. But then his contract went up in Mercedes pretty much said, "Hey, we're gonna make you the guy." So
Yeah.
Okay. So I said I wasn't going to have a question, but now I got a question. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of F1 drivers?
Uh,
Schumacher and Hamilton, duh.
Schumacher, Hamilton, Ayrton Senna, and
Mm,
um,
mm, um,
Is Verstappen up there with you guys yet?
not
uh,
yet.
not yet, not yet. I
Who
think,
was the old Ferrari driver before Schumacher that died?
you would have to ask me that. Was it?
Would Andretti be up there as well?
No, no.
Okay,
Mario Andretti was he wasn't that great of a racer.
gotcha.
Uh,
Remember, EA did a video game of Andretti. I thought
I think they
long.
still do.
Do they still do an F1 like a Mario Andretti F1?
It is, but it's not EA. Oh, Fangio. Not. I mean, he wasn't the guy I was thinking about, but Fangio has 5 titles.
yeah.
Juan Manuel. I completely forgot about him. Wow, I
Yeah.
feel so stupid. Um, but yeah, Schumacher has the most consecutive driver's titles from 2000 to 2004. Who did? Who broke Hamilton's streak with Mercedes then?
It was Nico Rosberg.
You're right. Yep,
Yeah.
that son of a bitch. Um, yeah. Those would be the four, I think.
Alan Prost, maybe.
Maybe.
Uh, because he was really good in a time uh when there wasn't a whole lot of really good drivers.
But see, my thing is, if there's no competition, is it a competitive like system?
I mean, he's got 4 world championships.
Yeah.
but
Uh,
but but that's your Jim Brown argument. If there's no
Uh, that,
competition,
that's literally, I
like
always say that about Jim Brown, though. Yeah, he's a legend, but he was literally the black guy in the white era. So,
yeah,
I mean,
right.
dude, he did a lot of things for civil rights and for football and everything like that. But you literally are the black guy during the white era. So,
Yeah, and I mean, honorable mentions will be Nicky Lauda,
yeah, Nicky
uh,
Lauda's the one I was thinking about that died.
Nigel Mansell. I would
Um,
even put Fernando Alonso just because of his longevity and his ability to. I mean, he only has 2 world championships, but I mean his longevity and ability to continuously put out great results. Um,
I would I would say as well. Shoot. I just had it. I would say Carlos Sainz as well,
senior or junior?
senior.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, so for the last 10 years, F1's pretty much been dominated by Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen, one or the other.
Yeah.
Correct?
basically, yeah.
Okay. Who besides those two do you see winning a world championship in the future?
Ferrari, McLaren.
Yeah, it's gonna be Ferrari or McLaren. Possibly 2026. I I think will be the first year. It depends. I mean, because that's when the new regulations come into effect. Um, Lewis Hamilton to have a year under his belt at Ferrari. They'll be able to build the car around him, especially if they get Adrian Newey, like all the news reports say. Adrian Newey is, I wouldn't even say arguably, Adrian Newey is the greatest
Is the greatest
Formula
car
One,
designer.
yeah, Formula One car designer ever.
Mhm.
Um,
Easily.
every car he has ever touched has won a world championship.
Yeah, he was there. He did Ferraris for the longest time.
No, no,
Now
no. He's never done a Ferrari car.
that's right. It was a Ferrari. It was Mercedes, right? No, it was
No.
before.
I want to say he worked at McLaren.
Yes, because him and yes, it was McLaren, and that's when Lewis Hamilton was started to win for McLaren. Then he went to Red Bull. Um,
He's been with Red Bull since their inception.
yeah,
Okay.
which was after Hamilton left McLaren. So,
Yeah.
So okay,
um,
so you say McLaren. So you say either McLaren or what was the other one?
Ferrari.
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 Who are those drivers?
Well,
Uh,
Ferrari will win with Leclerc and Hamilton. Charles Leclerc is young guy. He's one of the future guys of F1.
yeah,
Um,
and then McLaren is Lando
Lando's team,
Norris and
yeah,
Oscar Piastri, and they're both under long-term deals.
and they're both super
So
young, so you have time to
yeah,
have them build around them. They pretty much have with Lando to begin with.
yep.
Um,
Okay, so let me. All right, so I'll ask this last question. I say last question. It might not be the last question.
It doesn't have to be.
yeah, it
What
doesn't
is
have to be
well? What is the one team that you maybe don't like?
Red Bull.
Is
No,
there?
I'm playing. um, one team I don't like.
For whatever reason, it could be ownership, it could be the drivers, it could be their business practices, their engine, cars, what it don't matter. There's one that you're just not really a fan. Okay, maybe like is a bad word. Maybe just one that you're not fond of, one you just don't really care about.
Uh,
I don't know if there's one,
I
is
I
there?
don't know if there's really one. Like
Because the teams really don't affect much. It's literally the driver
yeah.
capability. That's what makes F1 stand out so much is the driver's ability. Um, I mean,
Okay, then let's switch the question to
I
driver.
guess Haas's financial management team, but
Yeah.
I still like Haas because they're the underdog as
Hmm.
in general. But yeah,
Oh,
that's pretty much it. Like I can't really
also,
Okay.
think of. Uh-huh.
also real quick, Roger. Uh, Lewis did win his first world title with McLaren
Was it 2019 or
2008.
2008? Sorry, I
Yeah.
don't want to keep saying 19. I know he left McLaren before 2010, but it was 2008.
No, he was with McLaren until 2012. He didn't start with Mercedes until 2013.
Yeah, because 2020 would have been 2021. So yeah, seven. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
but 2008 was his first one with McLaren,
And then he
or
didn't
was
win
his first one
again. That was
until
his first, and he didn't win again
who was his
until
teammate
2014.
in 2008?
2008. Uh, who was that? Was
Was
it?
it Roddick? Roddick? No, it was Roddick,
It
was it?
wasn't Raikkonen. In 2008, it was Heike Heike Kovalainen. I don't. It was like
Was it?
he had according to Wikipedia, yeah. And he only has ever one race in his
Yeah,
entire.
Heike. Yeah,
Yeah,
the Finnish guy. Yep,
yeah.
that's why I get him mixed up with.
Kimi Räikkönen.
Yeah,
Yes. Who
I
is
just knew it was
also
Finnish guys.
ironically, yeah, who is also ironically a Formula One champion. He won it
Hmm.
in the year before uh Lewis
Yeah,
in
and
2007.
he does Formula E right now, doesn't he? Or did he fully retire
Uh,
completely now?
I think he has fully retired. Um, because I was watching some Formula E this weekend. It came on right after the Formula One race.
Hmm.
Um, and their DRS, and I put that in quotations because it's not DRS. They get like a just like a kilometer per hour boost,
Hmm.
but they can only use it. They have 4 minutes per race that they can use, but the regulations say they can only use it twice, and they have to choose whether they want to use it and split it like in a 2-2 a 3-1 or a 1-3 interval. Yeah, it's really weird.
That sounds stupid.
It does.
I wonder why Tesla doesn't have a Formula E car.
I don't know. I don't know. McLaren just last season entered the
Yeah,
Formula E. Yeah.
so weird, so disgusting. I don't like that rule set.
No, it's weird. Um so the teams for Formula E, let me see. It's like weird names, except for McLaren.
Yeah, because they're all pretty much electric car makers.
Yeah. See. Here we go. Teams, they have the ABT Cupra. Oh,
Cupra?
and yeah.
Okay.
Uh, so Andretti has a Formula E team.
Yeah,
Uh,
they're huge in Formula E.
yeah, Penske has a Formula E team.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's Envision Racing, ERT, um, Jaguar has a Formula E team.
Yep.
Maserati has a Formula E team.
Mm.
There's a Mahindra Racing. Then you have McLaren, Nissan, and Porsche.
Yeah, I know Nissan because they're huge on that.
Hmm. Yeah. So,
So, any other questions, Talon?
I'm good. We can move on to the next segment.
okay.
I mean, I don't really think I even do. We even have anything for the next segment after
I don't know. We
that
started
stuff?
talking Formula One, and then I was like, I'm gonna keep asking questions because my mind, I, it's a sponge, and I just want to like learn as much as I can.
I
Um,
mean, I'm good. Nick DeVries actually races for in Formula E now.
Does he?
what did
Yeah,
you
he's part of the Mahindra team.
who did you say?
Nick DeVries,
Okay,
he
okay.
was uh
You blocked out like the sound kind of muffled for a second. I thought you said Victor Freeze.
no.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
damn, Mr. Freeze, but
He's so cold
But
with it.
it's so cold with it. Yep.
yeah, he's won 4 races in
Hmm.
Formula E since joining. It was more than he could do with Formula One.
Yeah, that's why I went there.
But I do. Have you ever watched a Formula E race?
It's weird.
I hate the sound of the cars.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
like you can literally hear the crowd over the car.
yeah,
Yeah.
mm,
Sound,
mm.
sounds like a bunch of jammed copy machines.
Yeah, pretty much, more or less.
Yeah. Uh,
Mm,
Mm.
mm.
so Talon, I have a question for you.
Oh boy.
Now that you've had all of these questions about Formula One, are you gonna actually watch a race?
If I can get it on my television, because they
On the
normally
ESPN
come on
Plus, don't
ES.
you?
So what now?
Don't you have ESPN Plus?
I had ESPN Plus, and then it wouldn't. It's so strange because ESPN Plus, for whatever reason, it's like it'll let you watch some things, but it won't let you watch like the actual. Like for example, if there's a game on ESPN and I want to watch it, it doesn't give me the option to watch it, but I can watch alternate games, instead. So it's like, I mean, I've seen
I don't
like
know.
highlights and shit on Facebook. I'm sorry, not Facebook. I mean, it's on Facebook too, I guess, but I've seen highlights of like races on YouTube and stuff like that. Like you figured it would be everywhere instead of just on certain networks and things of that nature because it's sports are very universal and things of that nature. But yes, to answer your question, I am definitely going to try to catch at least one race. I don't know if I do the qualifying, but I definitely at least check out like the main race.
Qualifying's sometimes I'd rather watch qualifying than the race.
A lot of stuff
Explain
can go down.
explain why.
A lot of stuff can go down.
Like, okay, what does that mean? A lot of stuff can go down. What does
I
that
mean,
mean?
accidents, people overtaking,
Yeah.
faster laps, and everything. Like you pretty much have a clear track for the most part.
Okay,
Hmm.
so it's basically time trial and Mario Kart, basically,
That's what
just
I
to
said.
see
It's
who's
it's
Yeah.
the fastest one gets you're literally placed by your lap time.
so
Yeah.
it's more okay. So basically, what you're saying is it's more exciting to watch the qualifiers simply because it's almost like okay, they're on an open track, and it's almost like you're anticipating is he going to make it? Is he going to make it? Is he going to do it? He did it! Yes, I knew he was going to do it. Something like that.
And probably for
Yeah.
Chip, I'd rather watch the races. I mean, I love qualifying, but I'd rather watch the races.
Okay.
Well,
I understand where he's coming from.
yeah, and it's not every race where it's like the qualifying is more exciting than the race, but you do get them to where, like what was it, Abu Dhabi last year, or was it the year before, where Max was on like a flyer? He was fixing to break like the entire track record and slams into the wall.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah. And it was like it was to me that was exciting because you're like at the edge of your seat, like, is he gonna break this record? Is he gonna break this record? Shit, he hit the wall,
Hmm.
Mm.
you know.
Or you can
Um,
have where, like I said, where Charles Leclerc is first. Verstappen's about to, get a faster time. Charles runs to the wall and turn 13 or 14. They have to stop the qualifier, so Charles gets
yep,
first place and has to get a new car.
Oh wow.
yep.
So I was like, hey, you won. Awesome. I need a car by tomorrow though.
But what
I'm sure they
sucks
have like
is he
standard
wasn't able to race.
at all.
No, Charles went. They were doing their warm ups, the getting their tires warmed up and everything like that,
Hmm.
getting ready, getting accustomed to the day, whatever the humidity, like all the random weather features you don't really think about that you have to think about. And
Yep.
then Charles gearbox go out, so his car won't go. Well, it'll go, but it won't accelerate.
So how long does a typical race last? About 2 to 3 hours, maybe?
Hour and a half, maybe,
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
maybe.
Okay.
I mean, you got to think they're doing 200 plus miles an hour around this track.
Hmm.
Uh,
Even with all the twists and turns and curves and things.
Yep.
I mean, they're probably not doing 200 through the corners, but they're easily doing 60.
Mm.
I mean,
And
it's faster than I would want to go on those hairpins.
hey, I tell you, and also, and the cars they drive aren't as our cars, I'm sorry, aren't as aerodynamic as theirs, obviously. And plus, they got a wider frame. It probably is a little bit easier to handle those type of cars in a sense because they mean the handling, the turn, probably again, I don't know apex speed and all that bullshit. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's simple. Obviously, you're going to want to slow down because you don't want to hit a hairpin at like 108 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden you're doing flips. I'm sure they're okay. Morbid question. What's the worst wreck that you've seen happen in a Formula One race?
Nicky Lauda's car exploded and him dying in it.
Oh shit!
There was that. There was the
Where's that? What's
Antonio
that?
Antonio Giovanni
Yep.
Giovazzi, uh like that. The way that car exploded was insane.
He
Last year
passed away too.
when nope, no,
Oh,
he.
okay.
I mean, this was like 2 years ago, so like there was tons of improvements made, safety improvements made over the years. Now last year, Joe Gron, I thought that kid died. I mean, race is just starting, so you have a lot of what's called first lap, first corner incidents. A lot of wrecks will happen first lap, first corner because everybody's jockeying for position.
Hmm.
Um, and
That's why I
uh,
hate Bahrain, that
yeah,
first turn.
yeah. Um, I think this may have been in Bahrain where his car flipped over on its top Now you got to remember these are open cedars, so there's no roof,
Oh
right?
shit.
All
They
you
don't even they
have,
don't even have like a hatch or anything on the backside or anything like
No.
that.
no,
Like nothing to even like.
no, it's open cedar. The only thing you have protecting you is well now is
Now, yeah, yeah.
uh the halo and your crash helmet. And he
Hmm.
slid probably a mile upside down.
How fast was he going upside down at that point?
Probably, I would say, what, 20 or 30 kilometers an hour?
I think it was a little bit
Ooh.
more than that.
Maybe. Uh,
Ugh.
Because if it was Bahrain,
I'll send it
it's
to
that
you.
double turn. So they have a little bit more speed they can go in with.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was no, it was in Silverstone.
Oh, then yeah, if it's that, then that one's probably not as bad. So he probably was going 20 or so.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Eh,
Oh, you sent me the video.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll I guess you want me to go ahead and watch it so I can go ahead and get the reaction. Give me a second.
Yeah. You'll see it.
All right, well, give me a minute. Let me click on this real quick. I'm gonna turn the volume down
Uh
so I can.
and I would include the link when we do the when we put the video out, but
All right.
Formula One does not allow us to
Ooh.
use their content.
Hold on, let me go back. Hold on. Okay, so it happens at like the 5 second mark.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, if you just keep watching the
oh,
video, they'll replay it a couple of
oh
times.
my God. And he flips over the wall and hits the fence. Holy shit.
Yep.
Okay, so right here at the jockey. Okay, so it's 2 and 2, so 10 rows of two. He flipped. Oh my God. Oh, dude, it looked like he went to flip before he even hit the wall. Okay, so it looked like he was almost like an innocent bystander in the situation. And the only reason I say that is because, okay, again, all I'm seeing is colors right here. I don't really see a name above the thing. Okay, so it looks like the one in the middle, because I see where it's 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So around the 9, 10, 11th frame. And it looks like there's, what did you say the guy's name was that did the Zhao
It's Joe Guan Yu.
Joe Guan Yu? Okay. So I'll just say Joe. He's in the white and red car. So he's right here. And then there's a car like beside him, but then in between is another car that's a little bit, I don't know, maybe almost half a car length behind. The car to the right goes to shift over, I'm guessing doesn't see the car behind. It slows him down enough to pull off to the side. He clips them, and he really, because it doesn't look like he flipped at all, or it doesn't look like his car got turned over at all. Um, Going back and look, yeah, his car didn't flip, but Joe's is just ugh. And thankfully he was okay after that.
100% okay. I mean, they send him to the hospital, for a preliminary checkup,
You
but
forgot one of the other worst ones. I'm gonna send it.
okay.
Yeah,
Um,
that's great. Yeah, okay. I'm looking at the aftermath of him speaking to, I guess that's the
oh yeah,
one
yeah,
of the committee members. Was that
that's the one I was talking about, Roger.
Okay, that was what you were talking about.
Yeah, I think I said somebody else's name.
Like, I did, you did, because I was like, I don't remember you mentioned this one.
Yeah,
the
the nah, that Grosjean crash,
And it
like,
sucks. I mean, the wildest thing is that it was in the documentary as well, or the series as well.
uh-huh.
Get all the angles.
uh-huh.
All right, I'm looking. Okay, so he's running. I see all I see is flames at this point. It has. I guess I'll go forward a little bit so I
Yeah,
can see
just
the.
keep watching.
All
You'll
right, here we
see.
go. Okay, so they're going down the straightaway. Oh my God!
Fucking ball ring.
Yep. No, that was Abu Dhabi.
No, the ball ring.
Oh yeah, it is Bahrain. My fault.
Wait, am I getting a first person? I am getting a first per. No, it was not a first person shot. It's well, it's a
The
first person
camera.
shot from another.
There's a
from the
camera
Right.
above it.
AlphaTauri. Yeah.
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 Oh my God, man.
But yeah, he walks out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see him getting out of it right now.
And the thing is, it wasn't even like a quick get out either.
No.
Like he was inflamed for a while.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. He was
But good, just a good old
that
hoss
car,
right there.
dude. That car is fucking destroyed, dude.
Hmm.
My God.
And like the worst thing is, all he had was like, I think he broke one of like his left hand and burnt his right hand.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
only his hands that got damaged.
Mm. They braver than me, man. To get in a machine like that, man, and go all over the place, yeah, man. More power to him, dude. You got to be top tier echelon, best driver in the world to be able to perform at that level, dude. Because golly, either that or you got a whole lot of balls. You ain't scared of shit.
I mean,
You
here's the
technically
thing.
can't be afraid when you're driving that
Oh,
fast.
of
Yeah.
course not. No.
Yeah. But speaking of balls, my favorite quote from this weekend came from Max Verstappen. And he was like, they were asking him, did he think the race would have went differently uh, had there not been a safety car when there was a safety car and all that. And he's like, if, a whole lot of ifs. If my mama had balls, she'd be my dad. I
That's
was like,
funny.
oh, yep. I mean, it's true.
That's funny. That is very, very funny.
So,
Okay. Let me look at this real quick while we're. Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah. The picture Roger sent. I don't know if you looked at it yet or not yet.
nope, but that's facts.
Yes. Do you want to y'all want to jump on that real quick and talk about that for a second?
About how Kendrick bodied Drake so bad,
Oh
and
man, we are
then
fixing to get flamed in the comments on this one.
and then he
Flame,
aired
go
it,
ahead.
and then he aired it out all the stuff that Drake's been doing, and people just let Ben slide for a while. Um, and then Drake's going to try and say that stuff's not real, even though there's evidential proof of the so-called allegations towards him.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about that at work last night, and my boy Louis looked at me and he was like, "Dude, Drake should just quit while he's behind, dude, because he's not winning this in any way, shape, or form. It don't even look. It does not look good for him from a hip hop perspective, nor a real life perspective, if you think about it."
No, I mean, I think I sent it in the group chat. It was last night or this morning. Uh,
The timeline.
yeah, the timeline of this Drake Kendrick Lamar beef. It started 3/22, so March
March,
22nd. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar uh drops like that. Uh April 5th, J. Cole drops 7 Minute Drill. 2 days later, J. Cole apologizes for 7 Minute Drill. And then on the 12th, J. Cole deleted 7 Minute Drill.
which I'm kind of upset about because it's still a banger,
It is.
Yes, it is. On 4/19, Drake drops Push Ups,
which was trash.
which was
Ass.
absolute ass.
And I don't
This
know how people hype that up.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
We heard like we sat there and listened to the whole song, and I'm just like, he didn't say nothing.
And then the best diss track came out right after that by Rick
Nope.
Ross.
Hold on.
No,
Oh,
don't you
I forgot
fucking
about that Rick Ross. Ah!
That was horrible too, man.
Oh,
That was just
oh.
I mean, it was better than what Drake did, but it's by like a millimeter, by like a
Mm.
millimeter, by like a
Mm.
millimeter.
No, they both were trash. Trash is
Yeah.
trash.
Trash is
But
trash, sure, but you know,
so also on April 19th, Drake dropped the Tailor Made Freestyle.
Which
Then
was
on April
direct shots to Kendrick,
direct. Mm-hmm.
And then on April 30th, Kendrick dropped Euphoria.
which was a direct shot to Drake,
And
Mm-hmm.
then on May
including
3rd,
including the show that Drake produces, Euphoria, as a
yes.
title.
Excuse me.
Uh
Yeah.
And then on May 3rd, Kendrick drops 616 in LA.
which references a lot of different things with so many subliminal messaging with that title.
Yep.
Yes. Then on May 3rd, Drake dropped Family Matters.
Which was a better song. You could tell Daylight wrote better on that one. Ghostwriter A wrote better on that one. Um,
Why are you laughing? It's true.
it's true. Daylight's his Ghostwriter. And I
I'm
don't,
not saying he's wrong. I just think
but
it's funny.
but
Why you
it was
why
it was more
funny like
direct
that?
shots, more quote unquote direct shots, and also putting in the fact that Kendrick's a bad father or bad husband, bad father, beats his wife and everything like that, which Kendrick admitted in literally his last album, Mr. Morale. He talks about it, made a song about it, discussed about how he's not a good person. He does things sometimes like that. So, you know, he apologized for it. You know, trying to change himself. At least he's man enough to admit it, unlike Drake, who's
Yep.
not man enough to admit anything he's ever done.
So also on May 3rd, Drake dropped Parody. But he only dropped this on IG.
Because it was super trash.
Yes. Then the same day, Kendrick drops Meet the Grams.
Which is a direct conversation to both of Drake's parents and his children. And yes, I said children because we found out he had a daughter.
Yes. And then on May the 4th, Kendrick dropped Not Like Us.
And completely bodied.
That wasn't even
And
that wasn't a body, that was an evisceration.
And he put the body bag in the body bag.
Inside the body bag.
And so the complaints, and I'm going to use air quotes on that I have read online about Kendrick's diss tracks are literally he's petty
Okay.
because he's bringing up family business, and if I have to read the lyrics, your diss track is terrible.
It's because people don't know how to read anymore.
The average American can't read above a 6th grade level, which is sad.
The average American can't read.
Well, that's another topic for another discussion.
But I'm sorry that you think that everything's supposed to be a direct shot and not actually present the artist's lyrical ability during a diss track.
Right.
Don't know what that's about. But then what Drake dropped, what was the fucking name of that garbage? Oh, sorry. In between, before that, during Drake's, I can't remember which one it was. It might have been Tailor Made or it might have been Family Matters. Drake told Metro to shut his mouth, stop talking, and just keep making beats. So Metro did just that. He made a beat called BBL Drizzy because apparently it's known in the rap community that Drake got a BBL. And the whole beat is literally just BBL Drizzy. BBL Drizzy. He told him to make a beat. All right, bro, he got you, he said.
Yep. And then, so the most recent in the Drake Kendrick beef, on May the 5th, Drake dropped The Heart Part 6, in which he denies Kendrick's allegations that he likes underage girls,
which
and
we
is
have proof
hiding,
of.
Yep, and is hiding another child.
Which last time we found out about Drake having a child was during another beef.
Yep.
So how are you going to say that stuff's not true when that's how we find things out about you, Drake?
And
exactly. The great thing about Kendrick's last what was it? It was Not Like Us. He used the cover art of the OVO mansion. OVO is Drake's company, brand, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he then also pinged all the sexual predators in the neighborhood. All the dots were at the OVO mansion.
Yep.
Not only that, Kendrick also stated there was a mole in Drake's group.
OVO camp.
Which,
yep.
I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised at all because boy, these guys only care about money. Your entourage, Drake, your entourage don't respect you. We all know that. That's why you don't have any actual friends outside the rap community, quote
You
unquote.
you Aubrey Graham in the wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? We first met you when you was in the wheelchair on Degrassi.
That's
You
not the first time
begged
we
us
met
to
him.
take. Well, first time I met him. Well, first time I seen him was it was on Degrassi.
Damn, that was like season 3.
Yeah, dude, I was a late bloomer to Degrassi. I didn't start watching Degrassi
Well,
until
you're like
much
37
later.
when it came out, so it makes sense.
I'm 37 now, motherfucker. What are you talking about? Anyway,
uh,
but yeah,
uh,
that's what I mean. Everything I hear is it makes me think of fucking Soldier Boy. Not to say that he's relevant today anyway,
Drake,
but Drake, yeah,
Drake. I use that. I've
the
used that
motherfucker
meme so
that got
much.
bodied by Pusha T.
And
You want to hide his kid from the world, but his world want to hide from the kid. Drake,
Drake,
y'all
motherfucker
motherfuckers
stole
stop
my
playing
whole
with me.
flow, words and all.
Hey,
And
I
first of all, Soldier
mean,
Boy ain't nobody stealing your flow.
no, no. Tell me what's really going on.
Kiss me
Crazy
through the
Drake, that can't just think of
phone. Kiss me
no.
through the phone.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about the most random beef that's happening during this time?
Chris
Chris
Brown
Brown
and
and
Quavo.
Quavo.
I sent that video to y'all, and I was like, bro, I didn't realize Chris Brown had bars like that.
Chris Brown again. Hey,
He had bars, bro.
you think he ain't gonna have bars? He's not afraid to hit women in public.
Bruh. Damn it. Yes, I sent that, and I was just like, oh, I,
Kiss me
I
through the
don't.
phone. Kiss me through the
Hey,
phone. Kiss me through the
I don't think
phone.
Quavo's responded yet, has he?
Yes, it was trash.
Okay,
Pretty
well,
much the whole thing was him. He would name a bunch of Chris Brown's exes, and then he would say, "Don't beat her." That's his ad lib. Don't beat her. Don't hit her. Like he's gonna beat
man,
your ass.
yeah, man,
He didn't die and stomp the yard just to get disrespected like that.
hey, man.
Was it stomp the yard? Yes, stomp the yard.
What? Wait, was he in Stompy? Oh yeah, he was
Yes,
in
he's
Stompy.
he's the
Okay,
brother that gets killed at the beginning with the Mexicans.
that's right. I could have swore it was a different. It was a different movie that he was in. But no, your Stomp the Yard is correct.
I mean, he's in one of the Tyler Perry movies. I just can't remember which one.
Was it Tyler? Was it Medea's Christmas? Fuck, I'll look it up real
I,
quick.
I can't.
I think it may be
I
Medea's Christmas.
there's
I
there's
don't.
so many of those Medea
I,
movies.
I don't follow Chris Brown's acting career
What?
that hard.
Uh, okay, hold on. This might be bullshit. I'm not. I'm gonna look this up real quick before I say anything.
Kiss me through the phone. Kiss me through the phone. The song's so bad.
Yeah.
Isn't Chris Brown in that one too?
No, I think it's just.
Is it just Soldier Boy?
I think it's just Soldier Boy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, until it okay. I read something just on my phone. It popped up and it said breaking news by Adrian Wojnarowski that JJ Redick will be announced as the new head coach of the
For
Los
the
Angeles
Lakers.
Lakers.
Yeah.
Has that been like
That he
officially
was the front he
reported
was a
by
front runner.
Bleacher Report, ESPN? So he's just a front runner. They haven't made an official announcement or anything
Well,
yet.
they can't announce him yet.
But they can't announce it until like the end of the season or something like that, right?
Well, I think they have to wait for the actual litigation for it, which I think might be tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, JJ Redick was the front runner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says JJ
And
Redick and Ty Lue were the two leading
they
candidates at
they,
the
they threw
moment.
Ty Lue in there just to throw Ty Lue in there, but JJ Redick literally was the
And
front runner because he has a podcast with LeBron, and they've been talking about it for a while.
yeah.
Control the
Uh
narrative, man.
and the other is Jason Kidd.
But
The
he's not
the
leaving the Mavericks.
now
He's not leaving the Mavericks.
Not when they're
I
winning
think
right
he'd be
now.
dumb
Yeah.
to.
Who was the head coach of Milwaukee that got fired before Doc
I can't
Rivers
remember.
came in and
I
fucked
can't remember
everything
his
up?
name.
Mm.
But yet again, like Stephen A. Smith said, was it worth bringing in Doc Rivers?
Nope.
No.
They had a first round loss, and yes, there was injuries. Damian Lillard came back. Giannis didn't come back. Damian Lillard had hurt
Adrian Griffin,
Achilles.
that's who it was.
Yes, the guy that got disrespected for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Um,
That was his first head coaching gig too.
yep, and he had a win record, like a great winning record.
Yep.
Head coaching record is what? Wait a minute. His overall winning record is 30-13. How the
Mhm.
fuck do you get fired from being 30-13?
Not only do you get fired for being 30-13, but you got fired by being the first place team.
Mm-hmm.
Superstars, man.
Well,
If
but
there's
here's the
any
thing.
league, if there's any league in American sports, football, basketball, hockey, baseball, lacrosse, soccer, whatever, superstars dominate and pretty much control the NBA. So if he's gone after having a 30-13 record, it had something to do with Dame or Giannis. Like neither
No,
one of them wanted him there anymore, and they just
no, they loved him.
did they though?
Yes,
What was the reason for his dismissal?
Doc Rivers was available, and the front office like, oh, he won a championship once before,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he hasn't. But he hasn't been able to win with any superstar team since.
When's the last time Doc Rivers won a championship? 2008 with I'm sorry,
The
2000
Celtics.
2008 with the Celtics, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
So that
because he
was
lost with the Clippers, even though that whole situation wasn't his fault. That was the front
no,
office
that was not his. Oh,
situation.
you talking about Lob City?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was not his fault.
yeah, that was not his fault. Bad injuries also during the playoffs, but also the whole front office situation
Yeah.
thing.
I
Yeah,
also don't think Darvin Ham should have been fired.
not only was he fired, but his whole coaching staff was fired. Everybody completely removed.
And I got a feeling, I don't know, this
Ooh,
might
tonight's gonna be a
good
night.
night. No, I mean, I just think Braun
Two
had
nights,
something to do with that
tonight.
too.
Yes,
I mean,
he
he
definitely
had,
did.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Superstars control the league,
Uh,
especially especially LeBron.
Le
He
coach,
gonna
Le
get what he
GM,
wants.
Le
Yeah,
GM,
Le GM, exactly. So you mean to tell me LeBron James has
LeBron James.
two? Because the head coach that was there in it was Luke Walton was there, and then he got fired. They bring in Frank Vogel, who won a championship with them. He was gone after 2 years, and now Darvin Ham, who led his team to the playoffs, even though he lost in the first round. He lost. I'm sorry, first year he lost in the Western Conference Finals, and then he lost in the first round. But both of those were to the defending back-to-back champions. It's like, why do you have to have like? Why is he the scapegoat in all of this? Like, you could talk about his rotations, you can talk about his lineup changes, you could talk about his weird timeouts and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, this team was good enough to make at least the play-in tournament, and you
Mm,
got into the first round of the NBA Finals. So,
it was definitely fixed for them to win those last like 4 games because they
oh
definitely were
yeah,
not.
yeah, nah,
They were not good enough to get in, but you had to have
nah.
LeBron in.
He had that
That's
gentleman,
the
and
thing.
they had the gentleman sweep. So,
Uh, that's
Sweep the
yeah.
well,
That's the
gentleman
thing
sweep.
that's the thing when it comes to LeBron is I know people are gonna probably flame me for this, but as he gets up there in age, his production is faltering. His ability to stay healthy is faltering. Uh yeah, he's probably facilitating more than he ever has in his career, but you got AD who can't find a point in the fourth quarter anywhere.
No,
it's hard to believe in him being healthy for a full season.
yeah,
Yep.
you can't. If you're a team, you can't commit to an Anthony Davis with that history.
You pretty much
They
hope
have
that he doesn't like just tear an ACL going on a dunk again.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they have no bench. So you're relying heavily on your superstars. And the reason they have no bench is because GM LeBron traded all of their good bench players away for what Russell Westbrook.
Kyle Kuzma's gone. KCP is gone.
Alex
Alex
Caruso,
Caruso's gone.
which is
Like
stupid. That was the stupidest one.
that. That.
That and Melo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and Lamelo. Yeah. Absolutely. No. Lonzo.
Lonzo, sorry, yes.
Yeah. Well, Lonzo, Ingram, and Josh Hart all went
Brandon,
to
dude, getting rid of Brandon Ingram was so stupid because that would do was the perfect slide in for Anthony Davis during injury time.
exactly.
Yep.
And
And
now
the
he's
fact,
dominating with the Pelicans.
yeah, him and Zion. If Zion can stay healthy, that could be a good 1-2 punch going
Healthy, you
into
mean
future.
keep his weight down?
I said what I said. But I agree with you though. Yeah, but I said what I said. But yeah, I mean, but there's so many, like, it's at a point now in the NBA where is LeBron James still a top 20 player in today? I would say he's in the lower tier because he's still averaging 25. So that's still good. His facilitation is better, but like what you said, Chip, he's getting older, so the injuries are going to be coming a little bit more frequently. He does still have a good IQ for the game, so you can't take that away from him. But at what point, and they were talking about this on a First Take today, at what point does LeBron James have to sit there and take accountability for his mistakes? Because here's the thing, he's always the one touting that he's the GOAT. When's the last time we heard Michael Jordan say he was the GOAT? Or have
During the
this,
Last
this
Dance.
well, okay, well, that was one occasion, but he never did it while he was playing. Never did it while he was playing. And if you ask Michael Jordan who he thinks the GOAT is, he would say it's Magic Johnson, and he said that.
And Magic thinks
And,
it's Larry, and
and
Larry
Magic
thinks
thinks it's
it's
Larry. Larry thinks it's somebody, right? But I don't know if it's just a modesty thing. I don't know if it's just a respect thing, because you don't want to look like you're full of yourself or anything. But LeBron, he tatted it on his back, chosen one when he first got to the league.
Well, that's because they nicknamed him that his like in high school. So I mean,
yeah. So
Yeah.
I get it, but at
Okay,
the same time, he wants to control the narrative. The
yeah, he's
narrative being,
EC3.
yeah, and then go ahead, Chip. I didn't mean to cut you off. What'd you say?
You're fine. I like that
Oh,
reference,
EC3. Oh,
Roger.
okay, I got you. I didn't hear
Yeah.
that. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so here's the thing in my 41 years on this planet that I have learned.
Damn.
The actual greats never say they're the best. They
Except for
always,
Gretzky.
except for Gretzky, yes.
But you can't. But
they
go ahead.
always
Yeah,
like
go ahead.
like with Jordan, arguably the greatest player of all time. He says, "I'm not. It's Magic Johnson." Magic Johnson, who's one of the greatest, says, "It's not me. It's Larry Bird." Larry Bird says, "It's not me. It's Kareem."
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Kareem says it's not me. It's
it's
Wilt.
Wilt.
And
Yeah,
then Wilt says
Will
not
will
me.
say
It's
it's Bill
Bill.
Russell.
And
Yeah.
then
yeah.
Bill would probably say shit. John Havlicek is best player I ever played with. I wouldn't have what I have without him. So yeah, it's one of them situations. LeBron's the only one who says, and he even said it after one of the championships that he lost. He was like, my goal is to be the greatest player of all time. Okay, you want that goal? I understand that. Everybody else has that goal. Sure. The problem that think about it this. Why did he leave Miami? It wasn't because he didn't want to, and this is my own personal opinion. I don't think he left Miami to go back to Cleveland because he wanted to be welcomed home. I think he went back to Cleveland because Pat Riley wouldn't give him what he wanted. Remember,
what are you talking about?
no. At one point, LeBron didn't want to play with Eric Spoelstra as the head coach. And Pat Riley said, "This is my head coach. You figure out how to win." And eventually it boiled into them winning back-to-back championships in 2012 and 2013. 2014, when he ran into the San Antonio Spurs, he was in the last year of his deal. But I honestly think because Pat Riley is Pat Riley. You ain't gonna tell him what to do. He owns Miami at that point. He owns South Beach. He had to go back to Cleveland. The problem with going back to Cleveland was to say, okay, because at the time he had Kyrie. They traded for Kevin Love. At that point, okay. So now we have a roster of players. They had Amon Shumpert. Was J.R. Smith
J.R.
there
Smith,
yet?
yep.
Yeah. Okay. So they had J.R. Smith. They had a lot of other good role players around them. They got to the finals, and then they lost. And then in 2016, they had the 3-1 comeback. Winning 3 straight after being down 3-1, winning the championship in Cleveland. So, they got that, but then they lose 2 years in a row. So then the question then becomes, what's more impressive? Michael Jordan having 2 3-peats or LeBron James going to 8 straight finals? And there's people who are saying that LeBron James going to 8 straight finals is more impressive than Michael Jordan 3-peating.
And the reason why Jordan there's a 2 3-peat instead of being 8 straight championships because Michael Jordan was forced to retire.
Bro, a definitive argument can be made that if Jordan had stayed in the league, he could have won 8 straight. Him, Scottie Pippen, and there was some. I mean, that first three-peat was different than that second three-peat. Because that first three-peat, they had Horace Grant, I think
Bill
Steve Kerr,
Cartwright.
yeah, Bill Cartwright, Stacey King, a couple of other ones. But then in that second one, he had Rodman, he had Ron Harper,
Steve
um,
Kerr.
Steve Kerr. Yeah, so hell, Luke
Who
Longley was
coach?
even putting up. Yeah, Tony Kukoc, and of course Scotty was there for all of it. I do think, and this might be me, in 1994, when the Rockets won their first championship. Well, not their first championship. It wasn't their first championship in franchise history in
Mm-hmm.
'94.
Was
Mm-hmm. Yep.
was
Because I could have
yeah,
swore they
not
won in the '80s. I
uh
might be mistaken.
now
Mm-mm.
they only have two, and it was the back to
94,
back
95, back to back.
94.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There are
Which
people
I
who
don't think they would have had Jordan stayed in
Yeah, there was
the
nobody
league.
getting past Jordan still, no matter what at
no.
that point.
Well, remember in 1994 they played the New York Knicks, and if that bogus call by Hugh Hollins hadn't have been called on Scottie Pippen in 1994, and I think it was game 6 or game 7, I want to say, the Bulls would have ended up playing in against Houston. And I'm not going to tell you who I think would have won that, because at the time it would have been, I still think Houston would have won in a 7-game series, but man, that would be a tough game to call. In an alternate universe, I would love to see how that happened.
Against Jordan, no. Who
Nevertheless,
was guarding Jordan?
no. I'm talking about in 1994, Jordan was already gone, but the Bulls were still a playoff contending team at that point. Because remember,
Oh,
they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals and they had to play against the Knicks. And the Knicks, and they could have won that series had that Hugh Hollins called not been called, and they would have won. I don't think they would have won it all that year, but it would have definitely gotten to a game 7. And then in 1995, Houston won again. I think it was against Indiana in
mm-hmm.
'95. Yeah, in Indiana in '95. Then Jordan came back, did the three-peat, and then San Antonio won, and then we had yet another three-peat with no. I apologize. No. It was San Antonio in '99,
Mm-hmm.
because it was David Robinson's last season with San Antonio, because that's when Tim Duncan came in, and it was they were the new Twin Towers apparently at that point. And then from 2000, 2001, 2002, it was a Lakers dynasty, And then the underdog of all underdogs, the Detroit Pistons in 2004. I'm sorry. No, I apologize. San Antonio won again in 2003, and in 2004 it was the Pistons with Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton,
The Wallace
Rasheed, and the
brothers,
Wallace brothers.
even though they're not brothers.
Yeah, even though they're not brothers. Tayshaun Prince, though, people don't give Tayshaun enough love, man. He actually was putting in work
Fuck
that season.
Tayshaun.
Why you hate Tayshaun Prince so much?
He was overrated for that season.
I mean, he was what he had to be for one season. He was what he had to be, man.
Mike Miller. That's what
Mike
he
Miller.
was.
Yep. Hey, Mike Miller put in work in that.
Fuck Mike Miller more.
Why do you hate Mike Miller so much?
That man was out there shooting in a wheelchair.
He's still shooting?
He was the original wheelchair Jimmy.
Oh my goodness. Stop it, please.
Taking shots in a wheelchair.
Hey, man. It all circles back. Now Roger's circling it all back to Drake. Look at him.
Drake?
Drake?
Man, I wish we had a soundboard, because that would definitely be on it.
Yes.
100% it would be.
One of the best things.
I may go try to find a used soundboard just to put that on there.
Drake.
Anytime we have he got bodied by Pusha T.
He definitely did.
Definitely did. Oh, he don't want to acknowledge that though.
I mean,
Pusha T did a damn a commercial, like an Arby's commercial or something.
Arby's commercial? Yep.
Yeah. I was like, that is the craziest shit ever. That he made a diss track on. I remember who he was dissing. Was it McDonald's?
It was the other restaurants.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah.
But I still wouldn't eat Arby's.
It's not that bad.
It's garbage. It's a gym sock.
It's not that
bad. I cannot eat Arby's at all.
Arby's can be yeeted everywhere.
There you go.
But I guess we can finish up by going over wrestling real quick, and then we'll go and end this one.
Yeah.
Um,
Dre.
so Backlash was 5 matches.
5 matches.
Yeah.
Um,
5 matches,
think.
about 2.5, 3 hours long of an event.
First one was the RKO versus the New Bloodline. It was
Hmm.
before the match starts. They actually brawl, which makes sense because they have bad blood with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Um, blend it up, make sure they all can actually fight each other, hate each other. They start beating each other up. It gets to the point where they have security and producers coming out, and then all this comes out and lays down the authority, saying, "All right, y'all want this to pretty much be a fight. It's a street fight, and they fight in the crowd a lot. Um, and it
Broken
gets
tables,
to
broken chairs.
yeah,
Yep.
chairs, tables, everything, chairs, tables, trash can lids. Everybody was able to showcase what they can do and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Triple H loves him some Tomatonga because his
Yes.
first match is a freaking pay-per-view match, opening pay-per-view match or premium live
Yeah,
events
with
match.
Randy Orton and
Or
Kevin
Kevin
Owens.
Owens, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are Tomatonga and Kevin Owens technically have a history, but sort of ish,
Sort
Yeah.
of ish. Yeah.
sort of ish. But then just to see Tomatonga and Randy Orton actually squaring up for the first time, and they both
Yeah.
already had a chemistry to begin with. It was really good
Oh,
off the
dude.
rip.
Yeah.
Um, and it also let not Tom, it let Solo showcase himself as the leader. He was given guided, well, not given guidance, given order to Tomatonga, tell him to do this, and this, blah blah blah. And then we get to the point of the match where Kevin Owens is pretty much Randy Orton has taken himself and Tomatonga out on the outside. RKO through the table was right.
No, no, no.
Uh,
He Owens RKO'd Owens, I'm sorry. Uh Orton RKO'd Solo on the announce table. Uh Owens set up the 4 chairs in the ring.
oh,
And then
yeah.
That's right.
Tama,
That's right.
He hit the go home driver.
yeah, the go home
Yeah.
driver on Tama. And
Or the
then go for,
brainbuster as they called it.
yeah, the brain bust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's the go home
That's
driver.
the
Yeah.
go home driver. Yeah. It's a
Um,
fisherman spinning. Yeah. So then the referee goes down 1-2, yank. My immediate
eh,
thought,
eh,
anyway.
1, 2. Wait a second. Get pulled out
Yeah.
the ring.
Right.
Yeah, because
Immediately.
somebody missed their cue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, immediately my brain immediately said, "This is Jacob Fatu." Like that was what my brain immediately went to. Pulled it out, and I'm like, "That's Camacho." Then I brought back Tongaloa to WWE, and then I was like, "Okay, now because I wasn't expecting Tongaloa in the equation when we talked about it just a couple of weeks ago. I don't think any of us had Tongaloa in the conversation at all.
I didn't. So I'm not
You
even
know,
capping
Uh-uh.
about that.
Well,
yeah,
there was no the so the great thing was is there was no rumors, no anything
nothing.
about him like signing
And
with WWE.
so not
Like,
only that, people wouldn't be looking for him, so it'd be so easy to sneak him around.
Exactly. It's like, hey, who's this? Oh, he doing
because
security? That's a big motherfucker do security, you know?
legitimately, I think everybody was looking for Jacob.
Jacob, yeah,
Yep.
because I was. And with the moment I didn't realize it was him, I was like, wait a minute. What if they're doing Jacob and what if they're doing obviously because they're gonna do the Gorillas of Destiny, you know? So now we are gonna get that forever ago fantasy booking match between the Usos and Gorillas of Destiny. If it happens, I'm not saying that it's going to go that direction, but I'm saying the possibility of that happening is still there, you know. Um, but yeah, I was fairly, and then for them to have Solo win in for Solo and Tama to win in a dominant fashion, and you still see the
Not,
grimace
not
look on
really,
Paul.
not
Well,
really dominant fashion.
eh,
They had interference.
interference, same thing. They were strength in numbers, and then you still see the Paul Heyman still has this look on his face like, what do I do? I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. You know, is Roman still the tribal chief? Is Solo the new tribal chief? Is there another? Because technically, they've never really officially said that he's the new tribal chief. They never actually, no one's acknowledged him as tribal chief. So could it
So
be somebody other than Roman
Well,
taking
on
the hat? You know?
Friday,
I was just fixing to talk about that.
Yeah, because I didn't watch Friday, so I don't know.
I would say because on Friday, Paul Heyman let it slip that he hasn't spoken to Roman since WrestleMania, so Roman technically didn't take himself out of the draft.
Paul took him out of the draft.
Yeah, Paul took him out of the
Okay.
draft, but not only that, that they still acknowledge Roman as the tribal chief. They haven't what do you call Solo hasn't said he's tribal chief. He's just doing what he thinks the tribal chief should do.
Yeah.
So he's still technically doing it uh, um on his own accord, but he's putting the blame and not taking the responsibility.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's
That's what
all
it sounds like.
Roman.
Yeah.
Like he's like, oh, it should be Roman. Um, this is what Roman should be doing. This is what he would do if he was here at this time. Kind of thing. So it's just one of those things where they're playing it, but not really.
Yep.
And then there's going to be eventually when Roman comes back, there's going to be a power struggle within the bloodline. It's going to be Bloodline Civil War 2.0.
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah, maybe.
I still think it's a possibility. I still think it's a
oh,
possibility.
I'm not saying it's not a possibility. I'm just saying maybe because it could. I mean, they could swerve us all
Mm-hmm.
and say that Roman was pulling the strings the whole time, but he was bypassing Paul and going straight to Solo.
Yep.
That could be yeah. You're right. That could also be a thing as well. Yeah.
Or Jacob Fatu's the new tribal chief.
There you. Hey,
Mhm.
that's yeah. Again, like we got all these different ideas and theories going out there. But again, this is why
Super
I love.
swerve. It's
This is
Rakishi.
hey, hey,
Hey,
hey, man, hey. But see, but again, this is why I love wrestling again because we're having these different. There, it could go any direction, and no matter how many directions we talk about, it'll probably end up being something that we either kind of suspect or we don't see. Like none of us thought that Tongaloa was going to be there. They made it so they made it to a point to where it's been so it's gotten to a point to where it's now must see TV again, and it's like you feel like you have to watch to see what the hell's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Let's move to the next match.
Um,
worst match of the night, I think.
Bailey, Tiffany Stratton, and Naomi.
Mhm.
it's a second match.
That was the
Yep.
second match on the card. Yeah.
I skipped it. Um,
I feel like it was the worst match of the night. Um,
super sloppy.
No, I said it when it happened. I'm like, this is sloppy as shit.
it
Um,
was in my opinion, it was Naomi trying to go too fast to get her shit in. Where you have more methodical wrestlers in Bailey and Tiffany. Now Tiffany's still super green, um, but she's great. But she works a slower, like she can speed up, but it's not one of those things where she speeds up for like the whole match.
Yeah.
She needs to go in bursts.
Yeah. She knows where to
Um,
pick her spots.
yeah. Um, but
The
yeah, I
finish
thought
felt
it was the worst match of the night. The
yeah,
finish was awkward.
really awkward and flat and
I don't even know
like
what it is. Like I literally didn't watch the match and I forgot to go back and watch it.
basic in a nutshell, Tiffany Stratton does the two Alabama slams on Naomi and Bailey. Rolls them both in the ring. She goes to do a prettiest moonsault ever to him. She lands on her feet, rolls backwards, runs into Naomi. Naomi picks her up, and they basically hit a 3D on Stratton. That takes her out of the match. Naomi goes for a cover, 1, 2, something switches off, and then Bailey does it 1, 2, 3. That was it.
Something switches off. What do you mean?
She she went for a thing 1, 2, and she if I can't remember she turned it into a cradle, right, Chip? Something like that. Bailey turned it into a weird looking cradle.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I don't know. It
I
was
can't even describe it as how weird the finish was.
All right, so moving on. The third match
yes,
was
Jay versus Damien.
Damien, yes. Really good match overall. Jay needs to find a literal moveset besides super kick and splash.
yes.
Yeah.
You can't call yourself main event Jay when you have two moves.
Mm.
Um,
Say
like
John Cena had 5 moves. You know,
yeah. I mean Hogan had three.
Hogan had 3. Yeah. Kevin Nash
What?
had 4, and that includes the hair flip.
What? Hogan had punch, back rake, big boot, leg drop.
Yep,
The
that
4?
was
big
it.
boot leg drop is the same move
Okay.
It's a combination.
because that's how he sets up his fit. He big boosts into the leg drop.
Oh, the finger point. There's another one.
That's part of the punches
Oh, okay. So then that's 2.
because the hulking up.
What about
The Hulk and Hogan's
That's hulking
part
up.
of it.
Hulking up is part of the punches and everything.
Okay.
Well, technically
Okay.
that's after the match. That's not during the match. Or no, that's during his hulk up. So that'd be during the punches because he hulks
Okay.
up and then
So
takes
2 moves.
block, punch. No, he has back rake.
Okay, so 3. Yeah. Well, that was heel Hogan that had the back rake, right?
Yeah,
No.
that's why he was heel Hogan.
Well, he used it as a babyface too.
I mean, he's still
Because
probably
his
the best move he
moveset
does.
never his moveset never changed.
No. It's just
Yes,
the color of his tights.
He started doing eye pokes and low
Oh,
blows.
that's
Yeah.
right.
He started actually being heelish
Ish.
ish.
Yeah.
I mean, he did 2 or 3 dirty moves, and then that was his heel. I mean,
Yeah.
it worked.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, wait. He used a sleeper in his second world title run. Yeah.
did he?
He used a sleeper, yeah.
I didn't think he
He-
had a submission. Oh,
didn't
didn't
think
he have double axe handle from the top?
Not from the middle.
From the middle. Sorry, yes, middle.
Yeah. Macho
Yeah.
Man did it from the top.
Yeah, but Macho Man also did an elbow, so he
Yeah.
wasn't afraid to fly.
That's
Ready
true.
to fly. You are banned from flying. You are. Oh, Joe Hendry's over there saving TNA.
Yes, he is.
Oh, flop dollar.
Man, I don't even want to discuss him.
But
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
Damien
Damien and Jay, go ahead.
Damian and Jay, good match. Damian Priest let Jay have too much, way too much.
I agree.
He essentially, for the most part, got beat up so bad and couldn't finish off Jay that he had to do an avalanche south of heaven, which was very awkward because how big Damian Priest is. His foot hit the ground before
Jay did.
Jay's body did at all.
Mhm.
And
Well,
it just
and
looked
Jay
awkward.
landed very awkward too.
I think Damian let go a little too early and he slipped going out of it, which may have caused the reason why Damian put his foot down to make sure he moved out of the way of landing on top of Jay. But you should have just landed on him and go one straight for the pin. But the big storyline from this one is the
Possible breakup of the Judgment Day.
possible breakup of the Judgment Day. But why would you do that now when you just lost Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest or Dominic Mysterio?
And now they're doing this whole thing between Dominic and Liv Morgan now.
Where he was
that whole
where he's
thing?
clapping her cheeks in the backstage.
Yeah. Is she the new mommy?
She was probably calling him Poppy, but
He's the newest member of the Wyatt Six.
You think that's what it is? Okay. See, I can see, but wait, would you have Liv Morgan in the Wyatt Six, or would you not want to be? Would you not want
It's
to be
gonna be-
Alexa Bliss?
it's Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
Has that been confirmed, or is that just
Nikki Cross
rumored?
has been.
Nikki Cross has been confirmed?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Because Alexa makes sense because of her relationship with Bray. Obviously,
Well,
Eric
she just had a
Rowan.
baby, so
Yeah. But then
I mean,
again,
she might be back from maternity leave here soon. So
yeah.
we'll see.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't have to do anything physical. She can just, at
But
least.
she can't technically lead the team because that's
No. No. Well, I
Bo
mean, that's
Dallas.
Uncle Howdy. Yeah, Bo Dallas is going to lead the team.
like they
obviously.
don't even they have even straight away they literally had a thing saying we believe so
Yeah.
Yeah.
pop up on the screen now
Yeah.
during
I
at
love.
France.
Yeah, they did the thing. They did the another QR code. You do the QR code, and it takes you to just a recording, and it sounds like Alexa Bliss, but her voice is somewhat distorted. And then it gives you a number to call, and I'm that guy. I called the number, and it was basically saying a parable about. It was like a biblical parable about the Jesus leaving the 99 sheep to finding the one that's
The one,
lost.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, see, that's the whole thing of Elke Howdy's group is going to be that they're all people that were abandoned.
Forgotten.
Nikki Cross from Sanity, Dexter Loomis from The Way, Eric Rowan from obviously the Wyatts and everything like that.
Braun's be the same way with the Wyatts too, correct?
Well, he hasn't been confirmed to be part of the
No, it's shit. I talked about it earlier.
Joe Gacy.
Joe
Joe
Gacy and Schism.
Gacy, but Schism broke apart because two members left. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was
but
finally abandoned by because his disciples left him. Is the sensibility for that one, um, and then
Sean Spears has also been linked to
no,
this as well.
no, he hasn't.
Has that
No.
been denied?
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah. The only members that have quote unquote been
you still there, Talon?
I'm still here. Can y'all hear me?
Your
yeah, we just
camera's
can't see you.
off.
This
Um,
fucking camera.
so the only
Give me a
members
minute.
that have quote unquote been confirmed are Bo Dallas, aka Uncle Howdy, Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, Dexter Loomis, and Nikki Cross.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss is still in the works. She'll probably do it because of how much she loved uh the fact that Bray let her express herself creatively in a different way than she had been before. And it gave her
Yeah.
so much more freedom and confidence. Um, but Braun also hasn't been because he just did a babyface return.
Right.
So who knows? Um, but we're sidetracking from there. Um,
Yeah.
so the next match after that was another
Uh
botched match.
yeah, the
Yeah.
women's tag match.
The women's tag match. Um, Kairi Sane moves too fast for Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill is still super green.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's a match we knew was gonna. We kind of this was the only match that was like super predictable. I mean, other matches could have been a little bit more predictable as well, but this one we already knew that Bianca and Jade were going to pick up the women's tag
I
titles.
mean, all the matches besides the first match were predictable because they all just won their titles, so they weren't dropping their titles.
Of course not. No.
Yeah.
Uh, and then the highlight of this tag match was just how good the chemistry between Bianca and Asuka are, but they've fought each other so many times. I
Yeah.
mean, they just know their rhythms between each other. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Had they cut this match by
5 minutes.
5 to 7 minutes, because this match went 17 and a half. Had they cut it,
How?
had they cut it by 5 to 7 minutes, it would have been almost perfect. But once they started getting into the double digit range, we started seeing the lack of moves and lack of uh ring
Awareness.
placement and
Yeah.
awareness
Yeah.
that Jade has. It's something that will come to her, yes. Um, but also like in a match like this to have them go 17 and a half minutes, like Bianca, Asuka, and Kyrie can do that. We know, but we also know Jade can't. Uh,
Yeah.
so I feel
Even
like
even
they kind of hung her out to dry there.
even when she tried to do it in AEW, like she would try to have long matches with people like I don't know Nyla Rose, maybe Britt Baker, Chris Statlander, people like that, and even then she wouldn't. I mean, when it got to that 10-minute mark, you can clearly see that she almost looked lost in a sense, because
She
it's
was
like
lost.
yeah, because again, AEW's training method is way different than WWE's training method. But yeah,
What
the
training method?
longer,
Say
just
what,
give me
Roger?
give me the benefit of
What AEW training method?
you know what I mean. The Nightmare Factory. Um, but yeah, I mean it's different, but at the same time, it's like I understand that they're piecing her along. She has the star power to have went to the main roster, but would she have benefited maybe from going to NXT first before going to the main roster, or just put her straight out there and learn on the fly like they're doing with other people?
I think I think she had to go main roster. Her free agency was too big of a situation to move her to NXT, in my opinion.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
You still there, Taylor?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Since we can't see you, we can't see what's going on.
I think my camera finally just said fuck it and just I don't know. The mic still works, so that's all that matters. I'm gonna try to fucking try to get this thing to work again. But y'all go ahead, go on to the next match.
Uh,
The main event, which I did not watch.
Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles. They went damn near 30 minutes, 27 minutes, 20 seconds. And my opinion, best match of the night. It literally now it is AJ, but it it was probably the best Cody match since his first uh match with Roman at Mania. Not this year, but last year.
It was a really good match. It really was. I think that I don't know if I mean you have those guys in the company that can just bring out the best in anybody, and AJ Styles is one of those guys. Cody,
It's definitely not Cody.
but hear me out though. I think if there's anybody, there's a handful of guys that you put them in the ring with anybody, and they're going to pull out the best out of them. AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, God, who else could pull up a good match out of
I mean,
anybody?
Roman.
Roman,
People don't
yes,
want to admit it, but
you
Roman
know,
he makes people wrestle differently.
yeah, he
He
does.
does.
He really does. Yeah, but yeah, I mean it was a really really good match. It was definitely, in my opinion, I think it was match of the night. Story of the night? No, it wasn't story of the night, but it was definitely match of the night. Story of the night was obviously the Bloodline versus KO and Randy. I think that whole thing was very, 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 very telling. I think they ended. I think the construction of the show also was very, really good from the standpoint that, like, okay, start off with the hottest thing that we got going on, which is the Bloodline story. We'll end it with the world title match. I think from top to bottom, and the crowd was like super, super into it.
Best crowd
Oh,
ever.
but there was some occasions where it's like are they chanting just to chant, or are they really into the matches? Like, I felt
No,
like that at some point.
they were really into the matches. They're not gonna. That's one thing about like European crowds having watched like soccer,
Football,
Formula
sir.
One. Do what?
Football.
I'm sorry. I have to say it for the American people because if I
Fuck
said
them.
football, they're
Fuck them.
gonna
How about
think
that?
NFL.
You don't think
Fuck
Uh,
NFL
that.
Euro League?
Does that still exist?
no,
No,
I was gonna say,
no, it
um,
got debunked in like '07 or something like that.
yeah. Um, but those crowds don't chant just to chant. Like they would rather sit silent and save themselves as opposed to just randomly chant stuff.
Yeah, it
Uh,
was very, very, very Japanese crowd kind of style. But yeah, they were when they were into it, they were into it.
they never stopped cheering. They never stopped making noise. It's
never.
consistent.
Didn't something where it's like they were so loud at one point that
They
the
had to
phone
literally put a
their
noise complaint.
phones, oh yeah, they did a noise complaint out. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yep.
Overall, how did you guys feel overall about the show in its totality?
Uh, I'd give it probably a B plus.
I was going B plus, something like that too. What about you, Raj?
I mean, I didn't watch two matches, so for me that was the same. I
Okay.
mean, I'm not gonna watch Cody Rhodes' title reign at all. That's not happening.
E-
You can't get me to watch that trash.
Even if it turns out better than you think it is.
I don't see that happening, but I mean, hmm, we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see where it is at the end of his reign. But right now it has not been good.
No, it's been very lackluster, and the
It's been
the
boring.
lack of
Well,
say that again. Your audio.
No,
he said
your
it's
audio's
been
messing up.
boring. Yeah. He said it's been boring.
Yeah,
But the thing is Cody Rhodes has been shoved down our
Ah,
throats more than Roman.
Can I leave and come back in just to see if it was it? Oh shit.
You could try.
But yeah, that's where that is. But I mean, we'll go ahead and end it here.
There we go.
Hmm,
My
hey, he
fault.
got it to work.
Hey. I don't know how the hell that happened.
I guess yeah. I guess it's a good time to end this here while we get through this technical issue situation.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. One day I'll have a good connection and not fuck shit up. But anyway, yes, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight on this incredible show. Whether you stayed for the wrestling, you stayed for the sports, you stayed for the F1. Hopefully you learned a lot because I certainly did learn a lot as well. Yeah, as always, thank you guys for being here with us. Chip, Roger, what do you guys want to say before we head out of here this evening?
as always, please do not leave without leaving a like, comment, share, and subscribe on Spotify and right here on YouTube.
What about you, Roger?
just thank you guys for the continued support. Thank you guys for listening, for the comments here and there, just showing your love in general. It works. It helps us out so much. Um, so just continue that on and always share, subscribe. As obviously, the more you do that, the more YouTube and Spotify will be able to actually put us out there, and more listens and everything, more we're able to do this for you guys.
Absolutely. And if you do want to continue to support Movement Radio, check out streamlabs.com/movement radio/merch and go copy some merch. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We really do appreciate it. We love you, and we'll catch you next time. I'm Talon Williams.
I'm Chip Hazard,
I'm Roger Sierra.
and this is Movement Radio.
God's plan.